Prevent Child Abuse Arizona. From the Pinal County Sheriff's Office to the Governor's Office, serving with AmeriCorps today creates limitless potential for every new member to lead Arizona tomorrow. Where will AmeriCorps take you? Join the movement by signing up at serve.az.gov. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Youth, Faith, and Family.
If you're rolling over your 401k to an IRA soon, but not sure if you want to go all in on this crazy market, here's what many retiring professionals are doing. How about a safe and secure IRA offering a contractually guaranteed 10% income bonus that grows 7% annually guaranteed? Your income can double in 10 years. Meanwhile, neither your principal nor your retirement income is ever subjected to a market downturn. Even if the market crashes by 50%, you get the 10% bonus. Your income keeps growing at 7%, and your principal may grow without losses uncapped. You go up with the index, never down. Forward, never back. Get a 10% income bonus with a 7% contractually guaranteed growth rate. I compare over 1,200 annuities with a fiduciary duty and can help you retire and stay retired.
Financial strength of the insurer. So compare with leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now. Visit IQannuity.com. IQannuity.com. IQannuity.com.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. Terms and conditions apply.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM. Wherever you go, take us along. Listen to our live stream on our free Fanatic app. Download it today.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
That didn't go on the air, did it? That what we said earlier?
I don't think so.
Okay, good.
No.
All right, everybody. Hello. It's Tuesday here on the Daily Blender. And your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. Keon, give me a quick fade down, please. And we are broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
Now fade it back up, Keon.
No, don't fade it back up. Okay, fade it back up. Fade it back up.
Fade it back up. Yeah,
really loud now. Really loud.
Yeah.
There it is. We're just doing a test. We're just testing something. Everybody just relax. Everything is fine. Randy is here. Everything is fine.
Yeah, we're testing the atomic bomb.
We have an atomic bomb?
Not now.
I was going to say, if we had one, I have some very specific addresses I'd like to send it to.
Not now.
Well, then I guess forget it.
It's over now.
Well, that's no fun for me. Anyway, okay, so today is Tuesday. Is there anything happening today? Something was supposed to happen today. I think we got a Diamondbacks game today.
Maybe, yes.
And that's it, because the basketball game's not until tomorrow.
A hockey game, right? Tonight? Is it?
Oh, that's tonight? Right.
Hockey's tonight?
I'll be honest, I don't know.
I think the next hockey game's Thursday.
Florida is going to win the damn series. That's all I have to say.
Diamondbacks are playing the Angels tonight, 6:40, and that's the only thing I've got on my schedule.
Is that at the Big A in Anaheim?
The Big Anus, yes. It's at the no, it's actually at Chase Field.
Oh, is it really? Yeah. I might have to grab Miss Kim, and we might have to go down there. I might have to leave.
You got time.
The show a little early.
You got time. Starts at 6:40, so you don't even have to leave the show early.
I might have to.
I don't know if you realize you could leave at 6, probably get there 10 minutes late, and still have 8 hours of baseball to watch.
I don't think it's 8 hours.
I'm just.
It's about 3 hours.
Guessing?
And no.
So
you're guessing wrong.
No basketball, which is probably good for Kristaps Porzingis and Luka Doncic right now because they are both dinged up.
And Kyrie Irving.
Wait, what's wrong with Kyrie Irving other than he's in a slump?
No, the Boston fans are in his head. Boston's in his head.
Well, that's not an injury.
In Dallas.
That's
Well,
not an injury.
Boston's in his head.
They shouldn't be in his head in Dallas.
No, they will be.
I feel like racists would always be in my head a little bit.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But
Is everybody in Boston a racist?
there's like 3 guys, and they don't live near the arena. But yeah.
All right.
So Kristaps Porzingis, they say, has a rare leg injury.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah,
You-
I
you know
saw
what
the
that
name of it,
means?
and I have never seen
No.
those collection of letters in one
He's
word.
I can sum it up. A very rare leg injury. He's been shot in the leg by a stormtrooper.
Oh boy.
They never hit anything. It is a very rare
Yeah.
leg injury.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's what they call it: a torn medial retinaculum, allowing dislocation of the posterior tibialis tendon.
Oh my God, that sounds terrible. How is he even walking? Somebody, let's get together a meal train and we'll send him meals from
Can I
here.
just-
Let's,
can I just-
let's
can I just-
what?
I
No, Jeffrey, I'm trying
I
to
didn't even practice that. I read that perfectly.
Yeah, I
I'm
was
very
surprised
impressed with myself.
Because I looked at that and I
Meals.
was like, I will not be saying that
Oh
out
my
loud on
God.
today's show.
I can't believe. Oh my God. All right. Okay.
So that's
All right.
his left leg. His right leg, it just says, has an owie. So like, one of those is
my
rare. The other one is
Oh
not
my
rare.
God. Okay. All right.
So,
So, listen, Fourth Dimension, we got to start sending meals. He's German, right? Is he German?
He's not
Yeah.
German.
I think he's,
Sauerkraut.
Dutch. He might
Brats.
be Dutch.
Oh my God, he's Dutch.
I think he's Dutch.
He's not
What do you
Dutch.
send
No.
Dutch?
You send him a nice oven.
He's Latvian.
Latvian.
Oh, that's who the people who make the Toblerone, I think.
Maybe.
I don't even.
I'm
know.
guessing. I don't know.
I need to look up Latvian.
I don't know anything
food.
about fancy European
here.
chocolates.
All I know is
Uh,
Kristaps Porzingis.
yeah.
I guess he says, "Well, I'll die out there," but I feel like the doctors may have something else to say about this. I honestly, I was able to read it out loud like a grown up, but I'll be damned if I know exactly what it means.
Mm.
So
All right.
whatever it is, we don't know exactly how serious it is until somebody like Screaming Eagle explains to us. Some doctor who can look at a torn medial retinaculum, allowing dislocation of the posterior tibialis tendon.
Oh my
If
God.
somebody can explain that,
Oh,
that'd be,
this is terrible. We need to send some fish, some potatoes, wheat, barley, cabbage, onions, eggs, and pork to him immediately. That's the comfort food of a Latvia.
So, what is the deal with Luka Doncic, Keon? Is that a back injury, or what is it they're saying his issue is? Because they asked him, "Hey, how you doing?" He's like, "I got a great shot. I feel good. Not going to talk about it anymore. It's all good." So they gave him the good stuff. But what was it? You said was it for his back? Or?
I believe it was a right knee soreness for Luca.
Okay.
That he was dealing with, and he's been dealing with it throughout the playoffs. This isn't, but it's starting to get worse because, of course, he's played on it for every game that he's played,
Oh,
and
my
because
God.
he's Luca,
Yeah.
he plays a lot of minutes, so that's not helping things there. Got a shot, going to probably have to get another numbing shot for Game 3.
To Luka, their best player, Porzingis, their best player at the moment. So if both
Well,
best players,
I don't know that Porzingis is not.
well, he's the force of nature that has helped push them lately.
He has, but Jaylen Brown has been the best Celtic.
Okay, but
I'm just saying.
do
like
you see him winning the? Okay, do you see him winning? Stop. Or do you see him winning as well without Kristaps Porzingis?
Yeah, they can win without Porzingis.
I didn't ask if they could win. You see him winning as well.
Okay, I was because you
Oh, I
asked the
did do
first
that.
question as a
Okay.
stop, so I
Yeah,
was
you're
answering
right. No,
question
you're-
1.
I already forgot my first question. So.
So they can win. They can win
Yes.
without Porzingis.
Right.
Can they win as well? Obviously not. I think that he makes that team better in ways that no one else on that roster is able to because of his size and his athletic ability. Without him there on the floor, it's going to be a whole lot tougher. However, if Luka's not 100%, that honestly, that doesn't even balance it. That makes it so much in favor of the Celtics that
They
I'm pretty
need
sure
to
that's
send
done.
him some Germkodel. Germkodel is a famous Austrian steamed yeast dumpling, soft dough filled with rum spice plum jam. That's what we need to send Luca.
Perfect. You get with Harry and David on that.
Oh my God!
They'll
Yes,
send it to him in a nifty little cardboard box.
Harry and David. Yes.
And then
Okay.
it'll be some apples and some
I'll get on the
odd
phone with them.
little
Yeah.
chocolates. That'll be great.
Mm.
So Luca got the good stuff. And here's the thing I always wonder. So you can have painkillers. So doesn't that show up on a drug test? Because or is it just
if it's not a
cortisone is okay?
They register that stuff, don't they?
If it's not a banned substance and the team doctors are allowed through the league to give that to you, and they are, then there's nothing wrong with that.
But they register everything they give the players.
I feel like I'd be like, oh, oh, God, you gotta take care of me here. You gotta help me out. So I don't know what you remember, Randy, if you've been paying attention to anything, but yesterday we really enjoyed the fact that Dan Hurley turned down the Lakers head coaching job and embarrassed the crap out of the Lakers.
I told you he wasn't going to take the job.
I told you. I told you. I'm the one who was righter than Keon.
I told you guys. Dan Hurley was not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Randy did agree with you.
I know, but I was righter.
And I didn't make a prediction, so
I was righter than everybody.
Or less correct.
Look, man, I feel bad for the Lakers.
No, you don't.
That's
liar.
I mean, the Lakers right now are a dumpster fire. They're a damn dumpster fire. Come on, tell me I'm wrong.
I'm just saying that when I was growing up, when the Lakers wanted a coach and they flew you out to LA, the game was over. That's a done deal. They're flying you out. They're going to offer you the job.
Yeah.
And then you're going to take the job because it's a lot of money and it's LA. Those days are gone.
The name
they can no longer do that.
JJ Redick keeps coming into my mind.
Well, Borrego is still possibly a thought process for that. But right now, the Lakers have to lick their wounds. And then they've got to sort out who they're going to ask next, because whoever they ask next is sloppy seconds. They're just, it's not going to feel good. That hey, it's the Lakers. Hey. How you doing? Oh no, we were never serious about her. We loved you all along.
Well, that's what Borrego has to feel, right? Because Borrego was there. If they really wanted Borrego, they would have hired him as soon as they got eliminated, or the week after, or 2 weeks ago. Like, they've had all this time, and he's been on the list. He's just clearly not choice 1 or 2. And the way that they're dragging their feet, he might not even be choice 3. I don't even know if he'll take the job by the time they get to him, just out of being insulted.
Yeah, this is so bad for the Lakers. Pelinka and Jeannie Buss, and you'd say, which one of these people are looking the worst? All of them together, the entire operation. LeBron James is like, yeah, we want that guy. He's awesome. And then, they spent all that time and they spent some money and they got nothing. And now what they've done is alienate the other guys who might have been decent choices. I just love this so much for the Lakers.
So why are we talking about this?
Because I just didn't know if you had heard or not.
Don't we like this?
I love this.
That's why we're talking about it.
Phoenix Suns fans, don't we enjoy
that's why we're talking about it. They're miserable.
Disparity
they have to be
that the Lakers are going to face here without a head coach going in June 26th.
I know. I can't believe it's taken this long for them to sort this crap out.
15 days? Is it
15? The other thing about that, Keon, is how long has it been since they hoisted the banner? Or they put the ladder up and cut down the nets for the NCAA? Let me finish, Randy. The NCAA tournament. How long has it been since that? What was that? To April something?
Yeah.
Why? And then
early April.
I'm pretty sure it was early April. The Lakers knew they were out of this, right?
Well, no, because they weren't.
Where were they in April? I'm just saying, at the point the Lakers season was over and
the Lakers
done,
made the playoffs.
Did they really?
They did, and then got annihilated in the first round. It was
that's why they fired their coach.
And they fired Darvin
So what
Ham.
month was that? I'm trying to figure this out. How much time has elapsed between the end of the Lakers season and them talking to Dan Hurley?
The beginning of May.
Okay, so that has been a couple of months.
It's been a while, yeah.
They should have been like the first opportunity they had. First week, second week of May, they should have had Dan Hurley flown out then.
Well, yeah, but I think that, if you're going through your process and getting your list of candidates together and then getting your front office people to sit down and go through, all right, this is what we think. Like, that's part of the process. But when you decide to move, I mean, if you're going to take that long, because in that same time frame, the Suns fired and hired a coach, the Wizards hired a coach. Who else hired a coach? Like, a bunch of teams hired a coach. The Lakers decided that they were going to take their time because they're the Lakers. And they assumed that whenever they were ready, they were going to get their guy. And that's apparently not true anymore.
That hubris just cost them big. Brandy, remember all those years ago when you turned to me and you said, hey, if you love him, if you love it, put a ring on it. You remember that?
Yes.
And that was just sound advice. You love, put a ring on it. And
Yes.
so the Lakers get done with their season. They fired their coach pretty quick, if I remember correctly, right?
They
Yes.
did. Darvin Ham
Yes.
was gone
Yep. He was gone
pretty quick.
right after the season.
Immediately.
Why would they wait so long to have this conversation with Dan Hurley?
Well, it
This
took
was
him
just dumb as hell.
It took him 2 weeks, Jeffco, to talk to Hurley, even to coming in and flying out there to L.A. to talk to him. It took him 2 weeks.
Palinka
2
should have
weeks.
had this sorted out. I mean,
Well,
during the season, he should have had this sort of mentally
mean,
sorted out.
I mean, they had to identify the coach. They identified Hurley.
It's not hard to identify Hurley. He
And-
just won a championship.
And then it took them 2 weeks to get him out there to LA. That's what I understand.
And all I'm saying about that is I agree with Jeffrey. Usually, if you know, okay, this guy that's coaching the team right now, unless he does something incredible, we're going to have to replace him. There should have been a short list of candidates, of people you would like to pick up the phone and call, and you immediately start working the phones when you fire that guy.
Well,
And,
I mean-
and so, like, if Dan Hurley was the choice, then that should have been call number one.
Well, I think it was. I think it was, Keon. And everything that I've been reading and seeing about about Hurley coming out to LA has been 1 to 2 weeks or several weeks.
But when they fired Darvin Ham, we didn't hear anything about Hurley.
Crickets.
And to be clear, Adrian Wojnarowski is like connected to that man's
Yeah.
family.
You know what? And I
He's
think I remember
connected
we
to
talked about
specifically
this.
that man's family.
What it
There's
looked like, what it looked like was the Lakers might have been hanging in there for somebody who was on a team that was involved in continuing on in the playoffs.
Right.
And so then everybody's like, okay, well, that makes sense. But if you were going to talk to Dan Hurley, we should have heard about this 3 weeks ago.
Like,
2
his name should
weeks
have
ago
come up.
even.
Dan Hurley's name came up in the last week.
Right.
So where
Yeah.
was that legwork being done to get Dan Hurley? It just, like, some of that just doesn't add up to me with what they were doing. And then from what it all appears is that Dan Hurley used the Lakers to get UConn to offer him more money, which good for him.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It happens all the time.
You
And
do what you got to do there, Danny.
that's
I don't-
clearly
I-
what
I-
happened. He immediately went to UConn and got a raise. He said no to the Lakers and got a raise the next day. How else does that
Don't know.
work?
No, that raise was worked out on the phone before
Maybe.
he said no to the Lakers.
Correct. Because he's
Maybe.
just like, look, this is $70 million over
Maybe.
6 years.
I think UConn approached him.
I
don't-
don't
I don't think he
I don't
approached
care who
UConn.
approached who, but the
I think UConn said,
the Lakers look dumb as hell right now.
Hey,
It-
hey,
well,
look, we're going to give you a raise if you stay here at UConn.
it doesn't matter who approached who, because whatever it was, it got Dan Hurley enough money, which, by the way, still half the money he would have gotten if he went to LA. Just enough
6
money
at 70?
to
I
feed-
mean, come on, 6 at 70?
No, he had 6 at 31. It was his current deal. So there's going to be an improvement on that number. I am sure
Oh,
we'll hear
yeah.
about soon.
yeah.
But I
6
mean,
at
the
70
Lakers
was,
offed him 6 at 70.
and
Yeah.
he got enough at UConn to say, you know what, I'm gonna see more of these paychecks down the road. I'll be okay. And
Made man. right
that's
there.
that's what he's done.
Mhm.
And I don't blame him for it. I don't think there's anything sketchy or shady about that. That's just business.
Donnie is trying to text in. Donnie, time permitting, we'll get to your text. Ralph has crabs says, I would like to note that this day, 2 of radio silence from Ralph, since this embarrassing news from the Lakers. That is all. Yeah, I keep asking if he wants to be on the show to talk about it. I think he's saying no, but it just comes out like a little bit of a whimper with some sniffles.
Jeffrey, I think you and I both agree. The Lakers organization right now, they are disorganized. It is sort of a dumpster fire, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I know Ralph would disagree, but I know you and I kind of agree on this. The Lakers situation, and I said Hurley wasn't going to take it because I feel like he doesn't want to be a part of that.
The late Rob Pelinka is a bad GM.
Yep.
He's
Absolutely.
He's made some good moves.
So look at the
but they're
list.
all short term.
Right.
Everything long term, he's bad at.
Pelinka is not a good GM. Jeannie Buss, not a good owner. And then LeBron James, you got to deal with that nonsense. You got to deal with street clothes and his street clothingness
and his ego. There's not an egoless Anthony Davis.
The Lakers is not a place you really want to go work.
The Lakers are building for now, not the future.
Badly.
That seems like a bad
in-season
idea.
tournaments, Randy. That's what they're building for.
I think you're right. Yeah,
mission accomplished.
It's just if you take a swing at it and then you get absolutely snuffed out in the first round, maybe build for the future.
It wouldn't surprise me to see LeBron James go somewhere else in this offseason.
We thought that might have happened already. There was cues that maybe he might be heading himself back to Cleveland, but then that got quiet. So I don't know.
Yeah, because I think he does want to be in LA, but LeBron likes having leverage. That's
Donnie. I'm going to read Donnie's text. He says, not to be a Laker defender, but I find it funny that Suns fans are celebrating this while they themselves are a dumpster fire and has been ever since their inception. Here's the thing, Donnie, we've been to the finals. Your Timberwolves haven't. We've been to the playoffs multiple times over more than your Timberwolves.
Were you not celebrating a double-digit breaking of a playoff drought? A double-digit year playoff drought, sir.
Yeah.
For winning a playoff series. Why don't you handle that? And by the way, there's nothing wrong with laughing at your rivals while you're on fire.
We laugh at you, Arizona, when ASU is kind of having a little dumpster fire moment.
I've been laughing at every other team in the NFC East, and I root for the Commanders.
There's nothing more fun than laughing at the misfortunes of your enemies.
Look,
that's it.
If I fell down the stairs, I'm praying for you to fall down too. Why should I be embarrassed alone?
How did you know I pray for Donnie to fall downstairs?
Just a guess, just a hunch.
That gave me a shiver right there.
He's in your mind, Jeffco.
Jeez. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We got your texts and more stuff to talk about. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The Arizona Diamondbacks are home tonight as they take on the Los Angeles Angels to begin a 3-game series. The Diamondbacks are coming off a 4-game set against San Diego with a split. Jordan Montgomery will get the start tonight for Arizona. He is 3-4 with a 6.80 ERA. Jose Suarez goes for the Angels, 1-0, also with an ERA over 6. The Diamondbacks minus a run and a half tonight, plus 125 on the run line. The Angels getting a run and a half, minus 145. On the money line, Los Angeles plus 135, Arizona minus 155. The over-under run total at Chase Field is at 9. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Broken bricks, falling fences, damaged doors, Gorilla Glue. Of course. It's incredibly strong and 100% waterproof and bonds, well, virtually everything. While you're at it, look for Gorilla Tape, a heavy-duty double-thick duct tape, and Gorilla Super Glue, great for all your quick fixes and repairs. There's also Gorilla Epoxy, Gorilla Wood Glue, Gorilla Construction Adhesive. Of course. You get it. If you can break it, Gorilla can fix it. For the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. This Father's Day, the Home Depot has same-day delivery on the perfect gift to help Dad be everything he can be. Because your dad is more than just a dad. He's groundskeeper of the yard, the perfecter of the patio, and the cleaner of the clippings. Let the Home Depot help power Dad's doing with the convenience and gas-like power of Milwaukee cordless outdoor tools. Plus, get up to $150 off select Milwaukee tools. For everything Dad is, find the perfect gift at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Order select and stock items by 4 p.m. subject to availability.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harmon Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harmon Solar Podcast at harmonsolar.com.
Mom, where are my keys?
Why do I have to take out the garbage? I'm too sick to go to school. Quit hogging the bathroom!
If you're having a hard time living with all the noise, it's even harder to live without it. Fake pills with fentanyl are the #1 killer of youth in Arizona. Learn how to talk to your kids at talknowaz.com. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Hi, I'm Ralph Romano.
And I'm Neil Lynch.
And we're the Weekend Warriors.
Ralph, I think we should change the name of our show.
To what?
Let's call it 30 Years Sports Talk Interview Fun Time.
What kind of name is that?
Well, we've been friends for over 30 years.
Yeah.
We talk about sports.
Sure.
We interview personalities from the Arizona sports scene.
Okay.
And we have fun.
Dude, are you done?
For now, yes.
Look, Neil, all this is true, but let's just stick to our regular name.
Okay, Ralph, but I think my name is better.
Anyways, it's the Weekend Warriors every Saturday at 10 a.m. right here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. All righty. By the way, I tweeted this earlier, but Randy, you're not on Twitter. I just wonder, I wish dogs understood sarcasm. That is something that has bothered me for quite some time. I'm sarcastic with the dogs and they don't get it that I'm just being sarcastic.
All right.
I just wish they knew sarcasm. That's all. Donnie's looking for, this is a laugh. Oh my God. He says, Suns still have the same number of rings as the Timberwolves, Jeffrey. Hashtag be kind.
How does that make you feel, Donnie?
Hashtag kiss my ass, Donnie. Be kind.
And that's better.
You've never been kind, ever.
How
Ever.
does that?
I don't know.
How does that make you feel, Donnie?
Like for me, I'm not the person that would rather never make it to the finals than go to the finals and lose. Take me to the finals every time, even if I don't get the win. Look, I'm not saying moral victories. I'm just saying
we had better chances.
Not getting there is worse. It is objectively worse. You have done worse in the season.
It's frustrating when you get to the finals a couple of times and then you don't win. It's depressing when you can't even get there to try.
I am a Wizards fan. I know.
Sorry, Keon.
Oh no, it's part of the reality of that team. That's just
Beer Bob says, wait a minute. Took the Lakers 2 weeks to get Dan Hurley out to LA. How did they get him there? Were they horse and buggy? Also, weren't they checking into JJ Redick first? Well, they were checking into everybody. At the same time. What it sounds like is Dan Hurley was an afterthought because Rob Pelinka should have known. He should have had his ear to the ground to know that there was a possibility that he would even entertain the conversation. He should have known that, and they should have had him there the day after they fired Darvin Ham. That is the day that they should have got his ass to L.A., not all these weeks later just to get told no. If everybody's in the conversation and then he's not in the conversation, you can even ask him nicely, please don't say anything. Let it look like we chose somebody. Okay, no. Okay, bye. At least you try that. You try.
See, I agree.
You try. It's like, please, Dan, I'll give you $100,000 if you don't say anything.
Why are you not on top of this when you know you're going to get rid of Darvin Ham? That's not something they just arrived at one workday and then released Darvin Ham.
They were ready weeks ago.
weeks before they fired
so
Darvin Ham.
Weeks ago, why wouldn't you have Hurley on the line and ready to go? Why wouldn't you have been talking to him then? So I don't know.
I mean, obviously, maybe disrespectful to talk to a guy before you fire the coach, but the day you fired him, all bets are off. Go ahead.
Pelinka was not ready for it, and he thought it would be easy.
Or they got way too hung up on JJ Redick.
Look, I mean, Jeffrey and I have been fired several times from different
never
radio
been fired
stations
from radio.
And they always had somebody in place to take over for Jeffrey and I. And when we got fired, they always had another guy and or team ready to go.
Yeah,
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's different when you're talking about a sport that's so heavily covered that people can leak that stuff.
Yeah.
It's not a good look.
Look,
if I'm talking to your replacement before I fire you, and I could just fire you at any time, I should just go ahead and fire you.
If Jeffrey was going to fire me, I mean, he would talk to the person ahead of time, and they wouldn't say a word. He wouldn't talk to anybody else in the organization. He wouldn't tell you. He wouldn't tell Radio Ron. He would only talk to this person he's going to replace me with.
That organization's pretty
the way
leaky.
that goes. You see what I'm saying?
That organization's
That's
pretty
not
leaky.
how it goes, but close.
Pretty sure that's how it goes.
I mean,
no. I've talked to Radio Ron about it, so he knows that you're getting fired. I mean, I just he owns the place. It's just common courtesy.
Now you just dropped the bomb on me. So
What's that?
when I'm
hypothetically.
It's
not Friday yet, so just hypothetically,
and it's not the middle of the month, so,
right?
Yeah.
It's not the 15th or the 31st. It's not a holiday.
I didn't know this.
So maybe,
hold on. What?
Maybe after the Friday show. So,
well, what's the date on Friday?
Yeah,
oh yeah,
it's
that
15th.
works. No,
Yeah.
that works. Yeah, that
All
works.
right.
Unless you're going to work Friday or Saturday. Are you working
Well,
Saturday at all?
I could be here Friday. Sure.
Yeah,
Saturday, no.
Don't make any plans for Monday. I'm just saying.
All right.
Don't make any appointments.
Please release me. Let me go.
I've been.
What? I'm sorry.
I've been dreaming of that sweet
Did I-
release for years.
Just sing.
Last Optimist says reports are Lakers didn't offer Hurley any more than Kentucky did. Well, did Kentucky offered him $70 million in 6 years?
I doubt this. I doubt this. Because Kentucky hired a guy that went to Kentucky.
Ralph has crabs. Says Randy White's getting fired from the show. Must be all the time he takes off. Well, that reminds me. I'm not going to be here on Thursday and Friday, so I can't fire anybody on Friday. So
this week,
I guess he'll have to wait a couple more weeks.
All right. There it goes. See?
Wait, is there a holiday coming?
What?
888-368-1580.
We're in June. No holidays in June. No.
So you want to hear something delusional? This I saw this and I was just like, oh, really? Here's the headline. Why Draymond Green sees small window for Warriors to win another NBA title. Draymond, there's no window. There's no window. What are you talking about?
Is it a window for ants, Draymond? Because
just doesn't exist at this moment.
Is that Draymond trying to get another paycheck?
It's closed.
Well, no, it's just Draymond being a professional athlete. That they all believe that they can win titles and overcome any odds.
You can't. That hotel room window is nailed shut. You can't even open it.
They sealed
closed.
it. Yeah, it's
nailed and
Draymond
glued.
trying to get one more paycheck before he says goodbye.
But I don't expect athletes to be realistic about whether or not they can win things. The whole reason they're in the league in the first place is they're the kind of person who thinks that they can will things. So he's got the right mindset. He's just wrong. It's just not going to happen.
Mr. Wilbur wants to know if Randy has been accused of kung fu fighting at work.
Maybe.
I mean, are you in trouble if everybody was doing it?
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
Yeah.
His hands were fast as lightning.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's a problem. I think you're okay with the kung fu fighting, Randy.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're good there.
Thank you.
888-368-1580. I need to cough. I should have a button
Everybody
for that.
was kung fu fighting.
God, I love that song.
It's a great song.
You know, I've got some Spotify playlists, right? and I just sneak it in there. So no matter what, I don't care if it's sexy time music. Boom, 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 boom. Everybody was kung fu fighting in the middle of any mix, and it always makes me smile. It can be awkward, but I love it. Speaking of awkward, I don't know how that's a segue for this. Probably a bad one, but the WNBA ratings came out, and for anybody, I hope this continues, because you know how things are. Hey, it's a new big thing, right? It's a new big thing. Attendance records are going through the roof. Ratings more than doubled. The last season, there was an average across ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, CBS, ION, NBA, WNBA, Oprah Winfrey Channel, all those channels, where the average was 462,000 watching games, right?
Okay. All right.
This year, it's 1.32 million, even on days where there's other sports happening. NBA final or NBA playoffs. There's other things happening at that same time. So it's not just like it's the only singular thing and we put it on every single one of our channels. No, it's just dragging these kind of ratings, man. It's getting eyeballs. People are actually in. Now, whether it's Caitlin Clark, whether it's her fights with other people, or maybe people have just come around to like, hey, this is some pretty good stuff. Whatever it is, right now, it is more than double.
Yeah.
3 times 4. Yeah, triple the number.
Well, we know that Neil from the Weekend Warriors got 12 TVs in this house, and they're all tuned to the Caitlin Clark channel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now that doesn't hurt.
No.
So the question is, can this continue? Can this maintain? Are people going to sit down, watch these things, and go like, "Ooh, let's see Caitlin Clark," and are they going to come back? Are they going to come back? Is it they're only going to watch her, or are they going to watch their team? I mean, these are, I think, some fair questions, because right now it's a big deal. It's a big fad. Does it only be a fad, or does it be a new thing? Does these numbers stay?
I tell you when it's going to dip during the Olympics.
Oh dear God, no! I think more people will watch the WNBA than the Olympics.
Well,
they're
not going to be playing.
WNBA is going to take it. They're going to take a break during the Olympics, and Caitlin is apparently not playing on the Olympic squad.
I think people will still watch. I think people will still watch. I don't think that she was the only reason they're watching these WNBA games, because if the average is 1.32 million, they didn't say of only games Caitlin Clark plays in.
Yeah,
actually,
and
all
been,
games.
The ratings for the Sparks have been really good. People like watching them and watching Cameron Brink. The ratings
Angel
for the Sky have been really good. Angel Reese and their other rookie they drafted, Camila Cardoso, they're both very good. So that's been good. Surely nobody is watching Mystics games. Nobody should be watching them. They're bad.
I'm watching Mystics games, and don't call me Shirley.
Well, I feel bad for you because
I'm not watching Mystics.
They have not won a game yet. So I just think that there are plenty of players that people have gotten attached to, because when the women's college basketball was going on, you know, people were talking about LSU and they were talking about South Carolina, you know, and they were talking about UConn. Like some of those players are playing in the league right now. So, you know, that carrying over, I think is going to help. And, you know, women's Olympic basketball has been as dominant as anything. I think that has the potential to keep the momentum going if people are willing to watch other players. I hope it keeps up. I don't know. I have no idea how permanent this is. I'm kind of just enjoying the moment of like, hey, here's something that's relevant that I had really hoped people would see that way for a while.
If you dig into some of the stats, it's kind of interesting. I mean, you know, of course, you've seen attendance rise by like 20% overall. Some of these arenas are at like 94% capacity. The Wizards, you know, that downtown arena there, they had 20,333 fans for you know, what the Mystics usually only have like 4,200. So
yeah, because the Mystics have their own arena, and that only holds about 4,000 or 5,000.
They had to move into a bigger venue,
especially when the Sky come to town and when the Fever come to town. People really want to see Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, and that's a show that's going to open things up. Yeah, people showed up for both teams. They were on back-to-back nights, and they both had very high attendance in Capital One, where the Wizards play in particular. So that's impressive.
Also, the WNBA is saying that they had a 96% increase in Hispanic viewers and a 67% increase in African-American viewers. Found that to be a very interesting statistic to see such a jump. And then merchandise sales up 236% from this time last year. Clark, Reese, Brink, they're the, in those top five
top
jerseys.
3 selling jerseys, basically.
I'm just saying, it's just really impressive that all of a sudden the thing's just blowing up. Like, it feels like out of nowhere.
Like there was going to be a tipping point. I just thought it was going to take a little bit longer than this. And the fact that it's happening now, I think has caught me off guard. I think it's caught the WNBA off guard. There are a lot of things that I don't think they were prepared for in terms of the number of people who have showed up to games and trying to get those games on at a decent time. Most of those games are on like while the blender is on, for instance. So there's a lot of people that are still at work or driving home from work that can't get to some of these games. They're going to have to get some of that scheduling changed so people can actually watch the games, because they just kind of assume nobody was watching.
I mean, can't they just set up their DVR to record?
Yeah, that's not as cool as just watching it live.
Well, I know that, but if they really want to watch these games, I look, if I really want to watch a game, I set up my DVR, I record it.
But I think for them, I think you want the games live, because that's how you're going to get the advertisers.
Think about that. The games being on DVR live, you can't bet on them if they're not live. You
can't bet on them.
Your phone's going to be giving you updates and stuff. It's going to get spoiled. You're not going to be able to watch that game unhindered from information. So it's just not the way things are these days. And the way people also consume their information has made that old, hey, I've taped the game, nobody say anything. It's almost impossible, because even if they don't say anything, your phone certainly will. You will be betrayed. So, it's just not the way it is anymore. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, other assorted things. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
When you get nachos, tacos, empanadas, spicy queso with jalapenos, Pepto-Bismol's there. Pepto-Bismol provides fast, effective relief from nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, and diarrhea. All the things that can happen unexpectedly on vacation. So before you travel, pack the Pepto. Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
So I just went to Kohl's to shop their first ever customer appreciation event. And now I'm here to spill the details. Because I'm a Kohl's card holder, I got an extra 30% off. Or if you're a rewards member, you get 20% off. Even non-members can save with 15% off. And as an added bonus, Kohl's also has great prices on Father's Day gifts, like top activewear, Sephora cologne, grilling gear, and more. So what are you waiting for? Don't miss out. Hurry to Kohl's. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. Coupons and Kohl's cash do not apply to Sephora. Offers end June 16th. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
What seems to be the problem?
Doctor, thank goodness. My husband found out Cricket Wireless has 5G plans starting at $15 a month, and his jaw just dropped.
Did he hear about Cricket's blazing fast 5G?
Yep.
What about their reliable nationwide coverage?
Yes, that too.
I see. Unfortunately, there's no cure. But you will have really fast 5G.
Get jaw-droppingly fast 5G for $15 a month. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Video may be limited to SD. Fees may apply. Terms and restrictions apply. Subject to change. See store for details.
80% of youth in Arizona don't drink, smoke, or use drugs. Want to know the reason why? It's you. Kids say not disappointing their parents is one of the main reasons they choose not to drink or use drugs. Visit TalkNowAZ.com, because while you might worry you aren't getting through, you are. Keep it up and stay up to date about the latest Arizona drug trends at TalkNowAZ.com. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Steve Jurich here. After working in financial services for over 20 years, I finally confirmed what investors really want, including me. And it's simple. All they're asking for is 20% annual return with no risk and 100% liquidity. Here's the problem. A money market is safe and liquid, but offers almost zero yield. Mutual funds and ETFs are liquid with upside potential, but aren't safe. A carefully selected next generation index annuity through IQ Wealth may offer 10% ample liquidity, principal protection, and a lifetime income yield potentially double to triple that of quality bonds. By yielding more income using fewer dollars, our system allocates more money for you for capital growth. It's a winning combination.
Call leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now, 480-902-3333. Guarantees rely on the claims paying ability of the insurer, so compare with Steve, 480-902-3333. Call Steve now.
1580 The Fanatic and at 1580thefanatic.com. Your home for sports.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Lost Toby says, some dude on the radio Saturday spent an hour on why Caitlin Clark's not on the Olympic team. Sounded smart. Should definitely get him on the show. Show's called something about interrupting cows.
Well, that's a lie.
Don't know what show that was.
Because I talked about that, and I know for a fact that I didn't talk about it until the last segment of the show. So I don't know what hour you were talking about. Hour?
Yeah, he only has an hour. So
the show, I talked about Caitlin Clark for an hour. Since when? Come on.
Caitlin Clark, though, she is moving the needle, even though she had a crap game the other night. But listen, that happens. But the Connecticut Sun fans, they were chanting when she was on the bench, "We want Caitlin. We want Caitlin." That is pretty interesting when you go to Connecticut and the fans there are chanting, "We want to see Caitlin." The fans of the other team, wanted to see her come out and play. So, I mean, that right there, that tells you something. Either that, or they just wanted the Sun another shot to put a huge body check on her.
Yeah, and there was she lost the ball, and Alyssa Thomas for the Sun is first off an enormous woman. Got the ball, and Caitlin tried to take it from her, and there was a weight room moment where Alyssa just pulled really hard, and Caitlin went flying that way. It was, she's gonna have to hit the gym. That's
you realize
gonna be a real big part of
talking about WNBA is the only time you could say she's an enormous woman and not have to worry about the consequences.
I guess the context makes me safe there. She's gigantic. What do you
maybe? I can't think of any other circumstance you could say she's huge and it's okay.
Yeah.
Like a compliment. She's ginormous.
Yeah, it's a different context, I guess.
So you got Connecticut Suns fans chanting, "We want Caitlin," but over there with the Florida Panthers, as they went ahead and took game 2 of that Stanley Cup series with the Oilers, I guess Panthers fans were chanting, "We want the cup. We want the cup." That's what you're supposed to be chanting, not "We want to see more of this player on the other team." It's like, no, we want the win. And if you're a fan of the Connecticut Sun, you probably shouldn't have been chanting, "We want Caitlin."
Probably not, especially in regards to she got benched because she wasn't playing well because the Sun were playing well. The Sun were playing really good defense because they're a really good defensive team, and they were beating the Fever up very badly. So it's just, unless you wanted her off the bench to be humiliated some more because it was just not a good game. It was just not her day. And
maybe it was sarcasm.
Maybe it was. I've just never seen an entire crowd of people collectively be sarcastic very well.
Does your cat understand sarcasm?
My cat doesn't understand much.
Yeah.
Just
your
food.
Cat's dumb.
Just food. He really doesn't have thoughts.
Randy, does Cecil understand sarcasm?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
How do you know?
By the way, he looks at me when I give him sarcasm.
Does he roll his eyes?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
You haven't lived till a dog rolls their eyes at you.
Yeah. Oh, Cecil rolls his eyes. The other day, I said something to Miss Kim. She rolled her eyes so hard, I thought I heard thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
I wonder if you'd hear that sound. Remember, you pull the lever when you're playing a slot machine. I've made eyes roll like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Not in a sexy way either. It's not.
Mm-mm.
It's not.
No. It's like, oh my God. But they don't have to say that.
If you find a woman like she's got googly eyes, it's probably because some man did that to her.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
If
Yeah.
she's like looking two different ways, it's because
Yeah,
she
yeah.
rolled her eyes so damn hard at something one of us said.
She rolled her eyes so hard at me. I swear to you, I thought I
Mhm.
heard thunder. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Mm.
Lost Toby says, well, it felt like an hour. Take the compliment, Keon. That didn't sound like
It did not sound like a compliment, Lost Toby.
He did say it was pretty good.
Well, I appreciate that, but
you sounded smart.
when you tell somebody that they talked about something for an hour that they didn't, and then the thing that they talked about, well, it felt like it was an hour long.
Oh.
You understand how I don't feel like that's a compliment? Like
Nobody ever says, yo, yeah, Jeffrey and Randy, they sound smart. We should get them on a thing. Never.
Nobody ever said
I've
that.
just never heard anybody compliment somebody by saying it sounded like I had to listen for an hour. That's all. It's that sounds like I'm boring.
You know what I think,
Was I
Randy?
boring you? I don't know.
I think what we should do, Randy,
Yeah.
is like some days we just feel like it. We should just cut out and let him have the last hour. Of the show.
Absolutely. The last hour of the show. Yeah.
Because sometimes I get tired.
I think the last 2 hours of the show, we should just do
Well,
3
last
to
two,
4.
come on.
And then we break out. No one would miss us.
See, here's the thing. You're not thinking right because Radio Ron, he'll listen to like the first half hour of the show on his
Yeah,
way to the bar.
yeah.
And then
Oh,
he
there it is.
meets up
Yeah,
with his
yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
And then they get good and liquored up. And then he doesn't leave until after the show's over. Okay.
Right.
So here's what you do. So I don't think we can get away with the second hour. But if we cut out in the 5 o'clock hour, he'll never know.
Yep.
So I don't think we'll get away with being gone 2 hours.
So I'm like, hey, welcome to the Daily Blender. Jeffrey
Yeah.
O'Brien, your radio pal.
Yeah.
And now here's Keon. And then we split.
Even better. We give him pre-recorded ins and outs with my voice on it.
Ah,
It's the Daily
welcome
Blender.
back. Oh,
And then at the end of this little clip, right, it's like, hey, it's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. What do
Hey.
you think, Keon?
yeah, hell yeah.
And
Yeah.
then he's like, well, I'll tell you what, Jeffrey. And poof, he just keeps talking.
Yeah. See? That's what I'm saying.
How to get out of and get paid for work for an hour.
I feel like I'm getting paid the same, but
Yes.
I'm working more now.
And you are. Yes.
Somehow I think you're not going to complain about getting the microphone again for another full hour.
Well, yes, but also like
Afternoon drive in Phoenix? Are you kidding me?
I understand this. Let me stop complaining.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
let me just stop complaining. Whatever.
Just got to watch them wheels turn a little bit at first, and then it's just like, all right then. Lost Toby says, the compliment is you got me to listen for an hour.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that, man. I
Yeah.
didn't understand your compliment there. My bad.
Brunswick guy says, well, at least we know this one thing. Keon has at least one listener. His Every Rose Has a Thorn show. It's Lost Toby. I haven't had a chance to listen since I'm usually at my kids' hockey practices on Saturday.
I listen all the time.
I think you're not going to like the name of the actual show when you finally do hear it. It's not that.
What? Jeffrey's at his kids' hockey practice. What's the
It's
name of
also
it?
not the name of that.
Rose has its thorn.
Show. Just not ever going to call a show that.
I think I just made a good intro if you wanted to call it that. Every rose has a thorn. Show.
Would be funny, except that I just genuinely do not enjoy that song.
I'm still charging you for the singing part.
Yeah.
Big George
I can
says,
see-
doesn't Keon do that already? You guys will say like one thing and then he just goes on. Keon doesn't like that I'm laughing.
I have no opinions on your laughter. Laugh away. Do I agree? No. No, I do not.
He's laughing way too hard at that. George, well, the text line is okay. Is moving around on me. Oh, to hell with it. You know what? I was going to read George's next text, but now I don't know if I can. I swear to God, the thing blinked, and now it's only showing me yesterday's text.
Wow.
Well, we're just gonna hit the little reload on this thing here,
and then wait.
That's all right. Hey, I love when sports collide. When sports collide, I loved that the Tigers took a shot at Aaron Rodgers on the scoreboard of the baseball game between them and the Brewers on Sunday.
Okay.
And now they just stomped. They stomped the Brewers. Okay. So they were feeling pretty good. And during the break in the action, scoreboard operator, he says, "Hey, how about this?" And he put up this question: who had the most completions last season? Aaron Rodgers or Jalen Reeves-Maybin? Guess what it was? It was Jalen Reeves, because he had one. He actually in a trick play threw a ball.
Oh yeah.
I love that. I love that they're trolling Aaron Rodgers in Detroit. And then Tyler Glasnow was. They said, "Hey, you know who'd like to hit the ball?" Says they could probably hit 200 if they were in Major League Baseball. He's like, "Oh yeah, who's that?" Micah Parsons. And he says, yeah, maybe 5 hits and 500 at bats. That's what he would get. Maybe 5 hits at 500 at bats. I think once he steps in and sees a big league pitcher, he'd be like, never mind. So yeah, 5 hits, maybe.
I don't know if you saw the video with Micah Parsons saying that. He's hanging out with CJ Stroud as well. And CJ is like, "You are insane, dude. You're absolutely out of your mind." And Micah's like, no, I could absolutely do it. And CJ is like, you're kidding yourself. You're absolutely delusional. Like, there's no.
Randy will tell you, hitting a baseball is one of the hardest things.
Oh yeah,
you will ever try to do in your life. Go to batting practice, turn the thing up to 90 or 100, and see how you feel about it.
See how you feel about that standing in there.
And then the pitches move. So have fun with that, I guess.
Yeah, in the batting cage, you're pretty sure where the ball is going to be within a general vicinity. Hey, you're out there standing by the plate. Don't crowd it. Don't crowd it, whatever you do. Flappy Mac says, "I heard it. I loved it. Uninterrupted. It's great. Good form, Keon. Good form."
Well, thank you.
And by the way, it's not called uninterrupted. It's called without interruption, Keon Rose. I actually heard you do your own intro wrong. It's supposed to be without interruption, Keon Rose. And you're like, without interruption, I'm Keon Rose. And I didn't think that was the way they decided that was going to be.
I like to say it that way because it's without interruption is the short version of the name, and I'm introducing myself. I'm Keon
I'm going to make you change the name of the show if you don't do it.
The whole show is without interruption, comma,
Keon Rose.
Keon Rose.
So I'm just saying, I might just take the name back. I might do a show called Uninterrupted, without interruption.
I think
Keon Rose. I'll just call it that. I don't even care. I can do what I want. I'm going to take your name and put it on my show. It's the Daily Blender without interruption. Keon Rose.
If you want to, that seems much more complicated.
I am that kind of petty.
I know you're that kind of petty, and I'm petty enough and stubborn enough that it's just like, all right, I'll go with uninterrupted then.
I want to make you say your show is going to come. It's like, and now the Susie Show. It's Susie, and you're like, what the hell was that? It's just, and so your show is now the Susie Show.
Oh yeah.
I'm taking the Keon Rose name.
Well, you can't make me have a name. I obviously can't keep the name you made up.
You out of that computer.
Here's.
But would that be helpful for you? Wouldn't you have to come here every day to do
the show? Wouldn't you feel silly calling yourself Susie?
I can do everything remotely. Everything. Randy and I went through COVID like this.
Oh yeah.
Just seems unwise to lock me out of the computer. Just one of these days you might need me in there.
I can unlock it and relock it. I can do what I want.
I'm not saying that you can or can't. I'm saying don't know if that's wise.
Just saying, uninterrupted, without interruption, Keon Rose. Just saying.
I hear you.
Yep.
I hear you.
You'll see. Looking forward to the Susie Show. All right, guys. Hour 2 of the Daily Blender next.
Febreze. So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's got to be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la. O'Reilly.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
What seems to be the problem?
Doctor, thank goodness. My husband found out Cricket Wireless has 5G plans starting at $15 a month, and his jaw just dropped.
Did he hear about Cricket's blazing fast 5G?
Yep.
What about their reliable nationwide coverage?
Yes, that too.
I see. Unfortunately, there's no cure. But you will have really fast 5G.
Get jaw-droppingly fast 5G for $15 a month. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Video may be limited to SD. Fees may apply. Terms and restrictions apply. Subject to change. See store for details.
Don't be fooled by the people you meet on social media. It may start as an innocent conversation, but anyone who tries to sell you pills is nothing more than a drug dealer. And if you think tiny pills can't do much harm, think again. Fentanyl can end it all. Know the truth about fentanyl at learnmoreaz.org. Don't be fooled. Don't be faked out. Visit learnmoreaz.org. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Will Shakespeare here. Back in my day, I invented over 1,700 slang words like swagger, bedazzled, and my personal favorite, besmirch. But even I have trouble understanding slang words like yeet or bougie or...
This is fire.
Actually, it is extremely smooth Shakespeare vodka.
Okay, boomer.
See what I mean? But there is one word that describes the pure quadruple distilled spirit crafted from an 8th century Polish recipe the first time you try it.
So lit.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Shakespeare vodka. So lit.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I learned it from my adoptive mom. Hold my hand.
You hold my hand. Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
I don't think it's an out of line question to ask. If you can do a mentorship program with these adopted kids to do like yard work and stuff.
I understand. Yeah, I think
I just
that's,
like, a few hours a day, get them out of the foster home, let them do some stuff.
Get them some fresh air. Yeah, I
That
got you.
They didn't appreciate that at all.
You know, we're live right now.
Oh, hey everybody, it's 4 o'clock. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. We broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And, all right, people are still talking about Keon's show. Keon's show, I believe, is called Without Interruption, Keon Rose. And now I hear Keon saying, without interruption, I'm Keon Rose, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well,
that's not the name. The name of the show isn't the part that's I'm
I feel like I got to go back and hear it again. It just seems like you said it wrong. Because I don't know. Hey, so King Kitten says, Jeffrey, you can listen on Saturday, the app and some earbuds. Keon and Ralph should just do both hours together on Saturday morning.
Except
that's not what Keon wants.
Yeah, and also
he
not
wants
what,
his own time.
Not what Ralph wants, even though I did join Ralph.
Ralph would love to have you on the show all the time, I think. He can't afford you. Mr. Wilbur says, true story, 3rd grade. I don't know. Do I read the rest of this?
I mean, you're already starting, so.
He says Little League vision was starting to get bad. Did not even foul tip a ball the entire season. My dad told me, "You don't like baseball, do you?" And I said, "Nope." So I played some football. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, sort of.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, it's Randy White.
How did he play football?
I'm struggling with that myself.
He's saying his vision was just starting to go, so he could still see at that point.
All I can think is he was on the line. That's the only thing. He wasn't the quarterback. He wasn't a receiver.
I feel bad.
You could be a running back. They're just like, turn right. And then,
it doesn't sound like he was blind yet.
He was blindish.
If it's just starting to go, the point where you actually can't see things is not.
Did they have those kind of helmets where the coach could speak into the play, could call the play in?
You can't do that while you're playing, though. Here's what Mr. Wilbur would have need those. Remember those curb feelers? Those antenna things just kind of poking off. He'd start running. Beep. Oh, and then he'd have to turn.
Oh my God. Yeah. Can you imagine?
Curb feelers would have extended Mr. Wilbur's football playing career. I still can't believe people don't use curb feelers more often. You don't even see them anymore.
I mean, personally, I think they should. You do see them a lot on lowriders.
Yeah. Lowriders make no sense to me.
Well, they're low to the ground. They call them lowriders.
No, I get that part. That makes sense.
What does not make sense to you?
I'm driving down the freeway and I look over and I see a lowrider and it usually has like 18 people in it. And then you look over and you see a lifted truck with one guy in it. I want to pull them over and say, switch vehicles, because your suspension makes more sense for 18 people. Your suspension makes sense for one person. Switch. But I don't think they will.
Have you ridden in a lowrider before?
No. Have you?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
One that on purpose or one where the shocks
several people were in there and they had it low to the ground.
Did they do the
oh yeah. You had to be careful. And
you
moves
hit your head on the roof.
Sort of like this right here. You're kind of moving across.
I feel like you should be let out before they do that.
Center plane here. You're moving across and you're just kind of moving like that. And then they hit the hydraulics.
Yeah. I'd like, let me out first, please.
And then all of a sudden you hear, that's the back. Yeah. That's the bumper.
I've seen them from the outside.
On the right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They do that on purpose to make the sparks fly.
Yeah. Like that.
I think when you build a lowrider, that's like jazz music of the automotive world.
Could be.
You have got something that it seems silly, looks ridiculous, but is an awful lot of work.
I don't think it
awful
looks
lot
ridiculous.
Of craftsmanship. No, I'm saying when they pull into a parking lot and it's on its side, it's all kind of crooked and everything. You're like, you should probably get that fixed. But no, that's on purpose.
Yes,
I'm just saying it's an art form. It is an art form, and those things are ridiculous. I mean, in a good way. There is so much work that is put into them.
Oh, yeah.
So much work in the craftsmanship of the mechanics of it, and then the way they paint it. Yeah, that's alone. Ridiculous.
Oh,
so all the way around, it's at first glance you're like, this is absurd.
No, it's ridiculous.
No, not doing that.
That's what the kids are saying.
No,
when
kids
they
are
go
saying
out
that.
to these
Zero
car shows,
kids are saying
the kids are saying, "Wow,
they're going to get kicked in the ridic if they say that."
That is ridic right there.
Yeah, nobody's saying that.
Look, we need to broadcast from like a elementary school. I think you'll hear all the kids saying ridic.
0%. 0% chance.
Have I lied to you before?
Yes, many times.
All right, so this time I'm not.
No, I mean, you lie about me getting fired with you. I've never been fired from a radio job in my entire life.
I don't
0 times.
That ever do I tell. And that's just the Canadian.
Well, your dementia has set in because there's another lie. Last Optimist says, don't understand keeping the lowrider low while on the interstate, though. Lift it up when you're traveling, drop it low and slow when you arrive.
Slow and slow, man. That's what the lowrider society is all about.
Wilbur says he played 9 years of football, including all through high school.
What the hell?
Are you sure they didn't just drop you off into like a field of sheep and you thought you were like pushing and just? Are you sure?
He has given us the timeline on when he started losing his eyesight. He could see at that point.
A field
What are we doing?
He's in the
They're
huddle.
they're just going out of our way now.
Hut, hut, hut. He's moving bodies. He just is like, these guys smell weird. Baker's cocky hen says, no, I'm not reading that. No, I'm not reading that either, Hefty Lefty. No, you guys, it's not a thing. It's not a thing, and I'm not going to let you make it a thing.
What about the field of sheep?
Well, yeah, that's a thing. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, that's right. It's we talked about. Oh, you know what we haven't talked about?
Lowriders.
Yeah,
Lowriders.
we're just trying to start the damn hour. So Scotty Scheffler, as you know, he won the last event, and now they have him coming into the U.S. Open. And by the way, you'll hear updates 2 times an hour throughout the U.S. Open
no
here
kidding.
on 1580 Fanatic.
Does that start Thursday?
Yes, sir.
All right.
So here's the thing: Scotty Scheffler, you know, he's just a hot hand right now. He's won a ton of money, and he's won like 5 events this year.
5
and
tournaments. Yeah.
He's killing it. He's just killing it. And so, but then over there at the Bet MGM, Scheffler's odds to win his 3rd major of the season are only plus 333. Which is, to give you some perspective, the Mavericks are at plus 650 to win the NBA Finals after they lost the first 2 games.
All right.
Don't you feel like the odds for Scheffler? Do you see what I'm saying? That just seems low. It feels like those odds.
You mean
should be,
they're saying that he's
it should be
predominant
it
favorite?
should be in the minus number. His odds.
Well, no, because the field in golf is still much larger.
I guess. I just feel like
it's
he's on
still-
such a tear that plus 333.
Well,
that's a damn good number to go make a bet.
in the U.S. Open. You have the guys from the Live Tour. You got John Rahm. You got Dustin Johnson. You got what's that Aussie that's got the long hair? The
Axl Rose. Yeah.
No, got the mangly beard. You got him. Cam something or other.
John Rahm is not playing. He's got a foot infection.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Rahm's got a foot infection.
He's got a foot infection.
He's out.
What?
Hope you didn't put money on that.
They got to refund you if that.
I think they will.
He withdrew before the thing even started. I mean,
Although it's plus 3,300, so they're gonna be like, you should have thought of it.
You got all these live players coming in there, and then you got Scotty Scheffler who's playing real golf.
But the 2 favorites are Scheffler and Schaffel. So again,
boy, they're both playing great golf, Jeffrey.
Yeah, Rory is right behind him at plus 1,200. Morikawa plus 1,400. Bryson DeChambeau at plus 2,000. But
yeah,
I think your safe money is on Scheffler just because he's been killing it.
I'll tell you, Scheffler is a good bet. Schaffel is a good bet. That's Xander Schauffele, by the way. Schauffele?
Schauffele, yeah.
What? Schauffele.
Schauffele.
Right. I'll tell you what. Colin Morikawa looked good last week at the Memorial.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
not good enough to win.
Well, but he was right there, man. He was right there. He was a couple shots from winning that tournament. I'll be honest.
Scheffler is got the hot hand, and you ride that hot hand until it goes cold. You could put some money on Scheffler, and then maybe a little something on Morikawa if you're feeling like that's the way to go.
Yeah.
That's the nice thing about golf is, you know, like
what about
Keon
Adam
says,
Hadwin?
plenty of bets you can put down.
Adam Hadwin was right there at the end.
He's not even in the top 10 for favorics on the betting odds right now.
Wow.
Oh, you say Hovland?
No, Adam Hadwin.
No, yeah, he's not in there. Victor Hovland is at plus 2,000.
No, I wouldn't bet on him. He's a live guy.
Mm.
I don't like him or that Cam guy with the scrawny mustache.
Cam Smith?
No, it's the other guy from Australia. He's got the wiry hair. It looks like he hasn't washed his hair in like 2 or 3 months. And he's got that mangy looking mustache. Cam something or other. No, I don't
Hefty
like
Lefty says, I mean, Rahm did go to ASU, so the foot infection checks out. What?
That wouldn't be a foot infection.
Why? What?
Explain yourself, please.
Did he wade into the Tempe Town Lake? I mean,
How?
Maybe. Maybe it was one of the ponds over there at the Ping Golf Course. The Karsten Ping Golf Course.
Well, whatever the case, the odds on Scotty Scheffler are silly low. And I feel like take advantage while you can. This is not sports.
Okay.
We just want to say this up front. I will refer to our sheet.
You talking
right
about the
now.
Open here? Or what,
No.
what are we talking?
Just
No.
hold on.
Okay. Sorry.
Not a sport. Competitive eating. It's not a sport. But all over the sports pages, they're talking about how Joey Chestnut got banned from Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest.
Isn't that too bad?
Here's why. He's like, well, he's chosen to represent another hot dog brand, so he will not be allowed to participate. And for some reason, Chestnut is like, I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and be the spokesperson for Impossible Foods. Fake meat hot dogs.
Oh, no.
I bet they pay well, though.
They'd have to.
If you get Joey Chestnut on board, I'm
Look, if I'm Joey Chestnut and you're going to give me plant-based hot dogs, I've got to go at least 100 million. At least 100 million. 100.
Don't know. We don't know for sure how much he's being
That's
paid.
The only way you could beat Joey Chestnut at the Nathan's Hot Dogs July 4th annual hot dog eating contest. That's the only way.
Mr. Wilbur, if you think you're going to make ASU feel bad calling them the capital of STD when Arizona is the capital of meth, yeah, I think we'd rather be known for getting it on and getting a little dirty than doing meth. Anyway, where was it? All right. So Nathan's Hot Dog is banning Joey Chestnut, which is a real blow to them because the other guy, what was his name? The other guy who was really good at it?
Okinawa.
I don't think his name was Okinawa.
Oki Muskoki.
No, I'm pretty sure that's not it.
The Japanese cat, is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, but his name eludes me because this isn't a sport.
Moga Mokanogi.
Okay, Hiroshima, whatever his name is.
Kobayashi. Yeah,
Kobayashi Maru.
That's exactly what I said the first time.
Well, that guy, he's retired. So now who's going to be the draw for this whole thing? So
I think it's going to be the Caped Invader.
Please let me remind all of you, this is not a sport. It's a competition. It's an eating competition. It's an eating contest, but it's not a sport. So I officially do not care. And then moving on. I'm just going to let you guys just sort of think about it yourself.
Should I go sign up for this, Jeffco?
How many hot dogs can you eat?
I could put
And
down
how fast?
70 easy.
I don't think you
70
can.
easy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, they're not like little wieners. They're not like little Vienna sausages. We're talking full size hot dogs.
I could put down 70 each. I beat your ass in a pizza eating contest. I'm not mistaken.
I held my own. You did win. You beat my ass, and then I whooped up on somebody. I ate so many shrimp, I just buried them at the next Pizza Olympics.
I remember that. Oh my God,
Randy, you
beat
beat
him
70 in 10 minutes.
I think so. I think so.
I don't think you
should
could
try
eat
it this
7 in 10 minutes.
Miss Kim, if you're listening, we need some Nathan's hot dogs from the store. Just go ahead and stop by.
I don't even like Nathan's.
I need 70.
She can probably get by with a pack of 8 and some buns. I don't think you're getting past 7.
Crush 8 with buns, easy. I would crush those so bad.
See, here's the thing. I would like to dare you, but then I don't like to watch people throw up. So I'm conflicted right now.
I would say no.
All right.
So speaking of what is a sport and what is not a sport.
Yeah.
You know, the Olympics are on their way. And I have every single Olympic activity right here in front of me right now.
Damn.
And it's time to decide how many actual sports are there in the Olympics. Okay.
It's going to be disappointing, whatever the
How
number
many
is.
actual sports are in the Olympics?
I believe there are 44 different types of events. Let's see which ones are sports. And I don't remember if we ever sorted this. So my eye is, okay, there it is. Yeah. Archery, we have archery as an athletic competition, but it's not even athletic. It's not a sport. It's like throwing darts to me. So archery, instead of going, huh, you're going, huh. But we have an asterisk on it.
Some of those bows, if you don't have enough strength, you're not even.
You mean archery?
Archery, we do have an asterisk next to. I think that's because that was one of those ones we were kind of going back and forth on. But at this point, I'm going to say it's not a sport. Like I could probably have an argument about it, but at this time, it's a competition. It's not a sport. Okay, I'm sorry. I mean, it's not really a sport.
Like it doesn't take any strength to really throw a dart.
Archery,
you need some strength
archery
to pull the bow.
that back.
It's big
that
deal.
takes
I've
some
done
money.
it.
I mean,
I've done it.
You're pulling that back, and it's going.
Oh no, I'm pulling something back.
I don't know. It's not a pool
See what I'm
game.
saying?
You can't take your kid to go archery without some level
No,
of
you
training.
can't.
You
Yeah.
can take your kid to go play
Yeah.
darts tomorrow.
Yeah,
it's not a sport. All right, so artistic gymnastics, we already
Oh,
know
no.
that it's
Yeah,
not a
no.
sport.
No.
Artistic swimming, not the word
no.
artistic is next to it. It's
Yeah,
pretty
just
much
go ahead,
getting
just go
gagged.
ahead and let that thing go.
No.
Yeah.
Then
No.
athletics. What is athletics? Is that running and stuff?
Athletics?
It's all like track stuff.
Is that trying on like athletic
What-
pants and
It's just
shirts and
listed
stuff?
as athletics. I don't know what that is. We'll have to look that at what the Olympics think athletics are.
Huh.
Badminton.
Oh, that's not a sport. Come on. Come on.
It's a lawn game.
Yeah.
That's
It's
a
a-
backyard game.
That's
There's no way that's a sport.
If you're like pickleball's not a sport, there is no way you can have badminton.
No, it's not a sport.
It just isn't.
I was just having a
All right.
flashback from
Right.
my older sister when she was in high school. She lettered in badminton. And I said, you just
Oh.
probably should leave that jacket in the closet, please.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
so
embarrassing.
don't even. No.
According to the Wikipedia, athletics includes the track and field events, the road running events, the
Okay.
cross country, that kind of stuff.
All right, we'll call that a sport. That's a sport.
All right.
Athletics are a sport. Badminton, not a sport. Basketball, sport. Basketball 3-on-3, sport. Beach volleyball, sport. Boxing,
Okay.
sport. That one was
All right.
one we argued over for a little
Yep.
bit, but it did
Yep.
come out.
Yep.
Breakdancing, go F yourself.
It's only in this Olympics. It
That's
will
not
not
a
be back
sport,
at any
man.
Olympics
Come
after
on.
this one. Why did they
Dumb
do
as
this?
hell.
The
Dumb as hell.
French. That's why. The French.
So here's one that we haven't considered: canoe slalom. That's a race, and they're
Canoe?
using.
Yeah,
they're-
I would say
I'm
that's
calling it a sport, and so is canoe sprint. Because I don't like the gravity games, like in the Winter
Yeah,
Olympics. But
Yeah, with
this,
the bobsled, but you actually have to
Right.
actively
you got
paddle.
to paddle this thing. Cycling, BMX freestyle, not a sport. Cycling, BMX racing, sport.
Yeah, it's pretty clear
Cycling,
winner.
mountain bike. If that's a race, it's a sport. I think
A mountain bike.
Yeah, cycling road sport, cycling track sport. I'll give you that. It's a race. And I'm looking over here. Cycling is in our sports category. Diving. I don't think that's
No.
a sport.
No,
It's an
'cause
athletic competition,
yeah,
but it's not a
judged
sport.
and all that.
Now wait though. You're calling what was the other one you're calling a sport that I'm like ew.
I don't know which one.
Mountain cycling.
Anything
No.
cycling
That's a
that is a
race.
race
That
is
is
a
a
sport.
race. Yeah.
Especially then they're pedaling. They're not driving.
Yeah, okay. All right. Okay. I'm with
Canoe,
you.
slalom, and canoe sprint.
That's
You're
the
paddling.
one.
You're
That is
paddling, and that's a lot of effort.
And if
Unless it's going like down a stream and off a waterfall, it's
and
you're
even
paddling.
yeah, and even if you're downstream, if you're trying to do it faster than other people, you're still paddling. You're not just letting the
And-
water
and-
carry you.
and
Okay.
What is this one that we're talking about?
The poo poo waters of France.
Yeah, it's dirty water. Dirty water. Listen, we are running late. Let's take a break. We come back, we'll continue finding out how many of these Olympic games are actually sports. Right now, I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Surprisingly, 10 sports have been listed so far. Let's
All
find
right.
out how many more there are in the actual Olympic games when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
When you get nachos, tacos, empanadas, spicy queso with jalapenos, Pepto Bismol's there.
Pepto-Bismol provides fast, effective relief from nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, and diarrhea. All the things that can happen unexpectedly on vacation. So before you travel, pack the Pepto. Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-280-8787. That's 1-800-280-8787. Or go to selectquote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-280-8787. Details on example rate at selectquote.com.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
What seems to be the problem?
Doctor, thank goodness. My husband found out Cricket Wireless has 5G plans starting at $15 a month, and his jaw just dropped.
Did he hear about Cricket's blazing fast 5G?
Yep.
What about their reliable nationwide coverage?
Yes, that too.
I see. Unfortunately, there's no cure. But you will have really fast 5G.
Get jaw-droppingly fast 5G for $15 a month. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Video may be limited to SD. Fees may apply. Terms and restrictions apply. Subject to change. See store for details.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, host of You Better You Bet, reminding you to check out the show. Now, why should you check out You Better You Bet? Because we bring you the most fun. We bring you the most insightful, the most entertaining show in the wagertainment world. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come alongside them. Plus, you'll get the best betting analysis anywhere from myself, Ken Barkley, and some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. So tune in weekdays, noon to 3 on Arizona sports betting station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and we're almost halfway through all the Olympic Games, trying to decide what is a sport, what is not a sport. Let's take a moment, though, and go to the text line. The one that people are protesting the most about, archery. That's surprising. Mormon guy says, I protest archery. Most definitely a sport. Just because he says at least it is in Utah. No, it's not. And I don't care where you are. It's not a sport.
Well, you didn't explain why you think it's not. I just want to know.
It's it's the same to me as throwing darts. It's the same as if you're doing a cornhole or whatever. Now I know it's more sophisticated. I know that having those bows are expensive and you get the target there. But if it's something I could do, let me just tell you, I walked up, somebody handed me one of these things and they're like, wow, you have perfect form. I didn't even try. I just thought, okay, what's the best way to do this? And I nailed the target. I'm like, oh, that was kind of cute. That's fun. And I don't know how anybody goes hunting with those things. That's difficult hunting because you got stuff moving, but just trying to hit a target here. It's like, oh, that's a fun game. To me, I just put it along the same line as lawn darts or darts. You know, you're hitting a target with something.
Have you ever considered you might be more athletic than most people? Your average person is not going and perfect form.
Well, it's not
shooting
about
a bow.
who can be good at it, who can be bad at it. I'm just looking at it going, this is just not a sport, man.
Okay.
It's darts with bigger equipment. That's the way I see it.
I just feel like if the thing that you're aiming can kill a person, it's not the same as darts.
Well, let me just jump ahead and tell
somebody
you,
with darts.
They have shooting in the Olympics, and I'm going to tell you right now, not a sport.
Not a sport.
No,
I'll agree with you on that.
Well, this
I don't-
archery and shooting, not sports.
I think that there is more physicality in archery than there is in shooting, especially the Olympic guns. There's not even any kickback really, like because they're not shooting real bullets. So like
Right.
that's not even. I don't know what
It's like
physically.
a game at the fair. Dink.
Yeah.
Baker's Cocky Hen says archery becomes a sport when the competitor is the target. Now, if they did it that way, I'd be watching.
No.
Mormon guy is pulling out his encyclopedia. Mormon guy, I don't care what your encyclopedia says. The Daily Blender, we had a conference. It took days. And we went through all these sports. We argued and we fought and we decided. And this is just the law of the Daily Blender. He says, according to the Encyclopedia Britannica, which, by the way, if you have an Encyclopedia Britannica, that thing has got to be 50 plus years old and not really a trusted source of reference. But he says archery, sport involving shooting arrows with a bow, either an inanimate target or in hunting. They're wrong. It's not a sport. Sorry. Just let it go. Brunswick guy says, free Joey Chestnut, great American hero. Dude just sold out, got his money from some fake hot dogs. That's all.
It's not somebody. It's not somebody holding Joey Chestnut hostage.
Yeah, he's not in prison. Wilbur says, let's ask Moist One how many wieners he's put down lately. Not as many as I think he wishes he had. Hefty Lefty says the shooting events there. Oh, they're their own category. Well, yeah, I know. Not a sport. It's a skilled competition at the highest level. On our Daily Blender sheet, shooting is just listed under not a sport. It's not even under athletic competition.
I hope that it's already very obvious that the Daily Blender sport, not a sport list does not care about your skill level.
Or your encyclopedias.
Yeah.
That too. Whether or not it's a sport of a game of skill doesn't make it a sport.
It's less a sport, though, if I could just walk up and do it right away. I'm sorry. Bat Flipper says, you think New York City put breakdancing as a sport so they can say they're champions in something? Been a long time since they've been on top. I got news for you. I don't think it's going to be somebody from New York. It's going to be somebody from another country who are like 20 years behind the rest of the world in something. They're going to be like, it's our moment. And it's some Bangladesh, some just sort of, who knows what, but it ain't going to be us. That's going to be the big deal.
That would be
going to
very
us.
disappointing if it wasn't us.
All right, let's pick it back up with our Olympic Games sports, not a sports. Equestrian. It's a sport for the horses, but not for,
Not
the, people,
people.
so not a sport.
Yep.
Unless they're in on it, it ain't a sport. Well, they like doing it. Yeah, but they don't have a choice.
Can you ask? Or can you confirm that the horses know that they're involved in a game?
Oh, we got a brand new one here. This is one we haven't considered before. Fencing, sword fighting. I think that's a sport. I think that might be a sport.
Why wouldn't it be?
I mean, you can't die doing it this way, but that's kind of awesome.
There's a lot of sports you can't die. I mean, you know,
it is athletic.
Yeah.
There's points. There's a score. I'm going to declare fencing is a sport. Does anybody have an argument?
No,
I don't disagree with that at all.
It's a little dainty, but yeah, I'm going to say it's a sport.
Well, it's only dainty in the sense that the swords don't actually kill people. Hand somebody an
That's
actual.
they have
slightly disappointing, but
speaking of dainty, they have a male and a female category.
You're cooked.
Well, I think they have that on pretty much everything, Randy.
Yeah.
Well, yes, I'm just saying. You said dainty, and they have a male.
Like okay,
you have a male and a female category.
Football. We already
it's a
know
sport.
that's a sport.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a sport.
Yep.
Golf.
Yeah.
Sport.
Not so fast. That is an athletic competition, not a sport, according to the Daily Blender list. Not a sport.
Golf.
All right.
Athletic competition, not really a sport.
Okay.
It doesn't
if
even
you
have
can
an
hit the ball
asterisk, but oh, it does.
330 yards. You're not doing something athletic.
It does have an asterisk by it. If John Daly can do it, it's not a sport. That's kind of where we are.
But John Daly was doing it before he looked like the John Daly we see now.
Not a sport. That does have an asterisk.
That doesn't
which
mean
means
it's
there's room for more argument later, but at this moment, not a sport.
Every sport does not involve cardio. That doesn't make it,
especially not for John Daly.
Well, yeah, it doesn't make it not a sport. But okay.
Here's another new one we haven't considered: handball.
Well, like handball is a sport.
That's feels like a sport, Randy. What do you say?
Yes, I would agree with you. Handball and racquetball, both sports.
Hakeem Olajuwon played handball before he played basketball, and he said one of the reasons why he was able to move as smoothly as he did is because he played handball.
There's points. You can play it to a certain point. So, okay, I'll allow it. I feel like we've argued this one too, where it was almost not a sport.
Look, if it was good enough for Hakeem Olajuwon, the dream himself, I don't know what to tell you.
Hey, I got a question. Why is hockey on this list? Is it field hockey? They're doing field hockey?
Think it's field hockey, yeah.
Must be field hockey. I think we're all very unanimous that hockey is a sport. Why wouldn't field hockey be a sport? It would.
I'm not arguing. I'm just
not
wondering why the word hockey is on this list.
No, I'm just wondering out loud. I'm not accusing
I figure field hockey is maybe more of a sport because they don't get to slide around. They got to run.
Well, they can slide if they're checking somebody, hip checking somebody, and they fall on the turf.
It ain't going to feel good.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not going to feel good at all, especially when you take that candy cane looking stick and you bang somebody in the shins.
Yeah. Okay, how about judo?
Yeah. Martial arts. You absolutely can score points.
Yeah. Well, I have the same pause on that I would have like with wrestling. You know, I'm not talking about fake wrestling, but regular wrestling. So, but no, judo's a sport. Marathon swimming. There's a race. It's a sport. Modern pentathlon. I forgot. What is the pentathlon again?
No, it's like 5 events there.
It's a bad movie by Mike Myers on Netflix. It was not very good. It was too much Mike Myers. Did anyone else see the pentathlon miniseries or whatever it was? I didn't care for it.
No.
But I had to watch the whole thing because they kept waiting for it to good, and I was invested in it.
Pentathlon is, Keon said it's 5 sports.
Yeah, it's 5 events. They may not
5 events combined in one race.
So it is fencing, freestyle swimming, equestrian show jumping, pistol shooting, and cross country running.
3 out of 5 on that are sports.
So do you
get 3 enough to outweigh the other 2?
I mean, it is a race, and you have to score high in all the events to win.
I think we should be undecided, meaning there are some things in there that are sports, some things in there that are not. So this one will just be undecided.
I never knew riding was a part of that. I am learning that today.
They got to ride horses in that, huh?
Why?
So dumb.
That's the most expensive sport you can be a part of.
It has to be. Who grows up going, I'm looking forward to doing modern pentathlon.
You gotta.
How can we make sure it's only white people?
You've got.
The picture that they have on Wikipedia is arguably the whitest picture I've ever seen. So
you
I rest
my
case.
You gotta get a horse. You gotta get weapons. What else is it? The pentathlon? It's
some swimming.
Horse,
you gotta get some trunks.
Oh my God! You gotta swim. Yeah.
How about this rhythmic gymnastics? No, it's not a sport. Not a sport. Rowing sport.
Mm-hmm.
Rugby sevens sport.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sailing. It's not a sport. Shut up.
I have no argument here.
Skateboarding. No, it's not a sport.
It's fun, but no.
Sport climbing. Not a sport.
Well,
surfing.
Are you racing in sport climbing?
Well, wait a minute.
Surfing's not a sport.
Sport climbing?
No,
the name sport is in the name.
I don't care if they put the word in. That don't make it a sport.
Well, no,
Isn't
I'm
that
saying
a race to the top?
Is it a race? Because if it's a race, then
I don't know. It's dumb.
You're climbing a mountain.
We have mountain climbing in athletic competition, not a sport. So if I've got
if you're climbing in a race,
I have to keep it. Okay.
Because mountain climbing by itself, if you're just climbing the mountain just to do it,
okay.
But if you're climbing it,
look at Keelan making a case. By the way, mountain climbing did have an asterisk. So,
but if it's a race though against somebody else, against a competitor, and you have to race to a certain point on the face of the cliff before you fall off and die a horrible death, then I say it's probably a sport.
Can we agree that if it's on a dumb rock wall, it's not a sport?
It is on a rock wall.
It's not a sport.
All right.
I mean, that's
If
still
you're-
hard to do.
If you're doing sport climbing on a mountain, I might allow it, but I can't. I can't give you those dumb rock walls where you got a cord hooked up to yourself.
I climbed the rock wall one time at a gym. I got halfway up that wall, and I was a ways up, and I got very tired. And then the guy was like, "Let go," and I was like, "I don't really want to. It's just I don't trust that." I was planning on climbing back down.
Now, if you're doing this sports climbing and you're like 1,100 up the 1,100 feet up the face, of some mountain,
I know. I'll get
well,
you
now we're talking. I think a
All
sport
right.
then,
But only if it's a race. Swimming, it's a sport. It's a sport if it's a race, but not if it's synchronized.
Well,
No, it's a race.
I
Yeah.
assume that that's what they mean.
Ping pong, table tennis, not a sport. We've already determined not a sport. Taekwondo, it's the saddest thing.
I've never actually watched.
Do they
Taekwondo.
actually get to punch each other or not? Or is this just for form? If you get to punch a guy and there's a chance you can
Well, I
knock him
think
out,
I think there's a I think there's a battle. Yeah,
and it needs to be contact, or else it's not a sport.
I think there's contact in Taekwondo.
Well, Keon's looking it up. Tennis, that's a sport. We did say that is a sport, even though we had to pinch our nose a little bit on that one.
You do get the headgear and all that, but you do actually hit people. Yeah.
Headgear, it's not a sport.
Taekwondo.
Well, then you'd have to take that away from boxing too.
Oh, damn it, you're right.
Because
Okay.
Olympic boxing's got the headgear.
Taekwondo is just like, if somebody tells me I know Taekwondo, I'd be like, you're gonna get your ass kicked. It's just you will never win a real fight. I guarantee you.
Well, and any fighting sport where you just stand up, you're probably not winning a real fight. You do have to win. You'd have to be able to wrestle on the ground at some point. Either that or you just knock somebody out immediately.
That's more like Muay Thai, isn't it? Wrestling on the ground.
Oh no, that's jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, that we've already
jiu-jitsu.
covered that.
Oh,
That's
sorry.
a sport.
Okay, sorry.
Muay Thai
All right.
will F up your shins, man.
I guess I'll give it to Taekwondo. I just don't feel right. That's the one. I thought about this under investigation. That one I got to spend some time.
UI.
Yeah. Tennis, it's a sport. I think. Did we say it was a sport? I'm looking at my list.
I think it is. Yeah.
I mean, you're having to cover so much more surface area. This is
I don't see tennis on our list.
people
I
are
think
serving
it's,
the
the
ball at
same as
100 miles an
racquetball.
hour.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't know how it wouldn't be. I don't know if you've ever seen a person serve a tennis ball at 100 miles an hour.
Maybe we just didn't think about it. All
Could
right,
be.
so I'll say I guess I'll say it's a sport.
Okay.
Trampoline. Shut your mouth.
The moment you said it, I was like,
I hate to squash the hopes and dreams of every Mormon kid in a backyard, because if you ever use Google Earth, I can find every Mormon family within any area just by using Google Earth and finding the trampolines in the backyards. I don't know why the Mormons love them trampolines so much. Maybe they're just trying to get closer to God, but no, it's not a sport. Trampoline's not a sport. I'm sorry. Sorry, Mormon friends, it's not a sport.
It's not just for Mormons. I had a trampoline in my backyard. Two of my kids had black teeth because they hit against one of their siblings' heads, and they killed that tooth.
But see, you were an outlier. Most
Well,
of the backyards are that's Mormon bouncy.
I've been called many things, Jeffrey. Outlier's not one of them.
Triathlon, I'll give you sport on.
Oh, come on, that's a sport.
I'll give you sport on. Volleyball, sport. Water polo, that one hurts to. I don't know.
Yeah, what do you mean?
It's a sport.
It's
a sport.
it's
Calm down.
constant swimming.
Just feels. I don't know. Weightlifting is not a sport. Weightlifting is not a sport. It is an athletic competition,
I would
but it's
agree.
not a sport.
I would agree. Can I hear the justification
there? You're just picking something up, putting it down. There's no game involved. There's no points
It's
involved.
who can lift the most. It's not judging your form. If I lift 300 and you lift 255, I beat you.
Wait, we do have weightlifting listed as a sport. I don't feel good about that, to be honest.
Why? I'm trying to understand. It's athletic, and there's a
Because-
definitive way to win. You're not judged.
Because they use the
I'm just-
metric system. That's why.
Yeah, I think it's just
You
something
can
to do with
use
the
pounds
kilos.
if you want.
And now coming
Yeah.
up with 87
All right.
kilograms.
You know they do
here
that
is-
in-
All right, well, calm down.
in
I put
track
it back
and
as a
swimming,
sport.
too.
Thor
It just doesn't seem
Svensson.
consistent to me. Is all I'm trying to.
But
I'm
It
trying
is
to.
87
consistent. I looked
kilograms.
over and I saw it said weightlifting. I'm like, all right, fine. I just don't like it. Listen, not everything on this list I like in sports, and I don't like everything that we put not in sports.
Yeah,
This has
I,
been.
I enjoy skateboarding. It's not a sport.
It's not a sport.
Exactly. But I enjoy it. So I'm not arguing for things just because I enjoy them. I'm just saying.
I enjoy napping. That's not a sport.
If anybody can't just do it, it's not a lawn game, and there's a definitive way to win that doesn't involve judges. It just seems to check all the boxes we talked.
That would be jorts. A lawn game. That would be
That's all.
jorts.
I'm just trying to see what the actual standard
Listen,
is. You can
we
just
had
apply
the
that to everything.
conversation before you were even here.
I know.
And weightlifting
Yeah.
made it in. So
Yeah.
you don't have to argue with it. I'm
I
just
don't know why.
saying it just
Yeah.
doesn't feel great. I'm just saying something about it, and maybe I can articulate this better
Yep.
later, but we're out
Yep.
of time. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a break. I'm gonna count up all the stuff, and I'm actually pleasantly surprised at how much I think the Summer Olympics has more actual sports
Well, that's
than the
thing.
Winter
The
Olympics.
Winter Olympics has more stuff that'll just waste your life.
It's just a lot of gravity games, you know?
A lot of gravity games.
All right. And then there's a
Yeah.
lot of people on the text line with a lot to say about all this, too. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Small business owners, we know finishing your to-do list can feel like climbing a mountain, but that mountain is also covered in banana peels. Then when something new gets added to your list, you're like, nope, I'm already climbing this huge, super slippery banana peel mountain of a to-do list. At Progressive, we don't want to make your day any harder. That's why we make it easy to manage your policy on our mobile app. So climbing that banana peel mountain feels more like a leisurely stroll. See if you can save on commercial auto insurance in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms and conditions.
So I just went to Kohl's to shop their first ever customer appreciation event. And now I'm here to spill the details. Because I'm a Kohl's card holder, I got an extra 30% off. Or if you're a rewards member, you get 20% off. Even non-members can save with 15% off. And as an added bonus, Kohl's also has great prices on Father's Day gifts, like top activewear, Sephora cologne, grilling gear, and more. So what are you waiting for? Don't miss out. Hurry to Kohl's. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. Offers end June 16th. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call Select Quote at 1-800-280-8787. That's 1-800-280-8787. Or go to selectquote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-280-8787. Details on example rate at selectquote.com.
What seems to be the problem?
Doctor, thank goodness. My husband found out Cricket Wireless has 5G plans starting at $15 a month, and his jaw just dropped.
Did he hear about Cricket's blazing fast 5G?
Yep.
What about their reliable nationwide coverage?
Yes, that too.
I see. Unfortunately, there's no cure. But you will have really fast 5G.
Get jaw-droppingly fast 5G for $15 a month. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Video may be limited to SD. Fees may apply. Terms and restrictions apply. Subject to change. See store for details.
Volunteer now. Help vulnerable and oftentimes overlooked children in Arizona. Court-appointed special advocates, known as CASAs, are assigned to children as advocates during their experience in the foster care system. Volunteer now. You can change the life of a child for the better. Visit azcourts.gov/volunteer to learn about court-appointed special advocates. That's azcourts.gov/volunteer. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Supreme Court.
Your home for sports. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and the count is in. I believe there's 44 different events or categories for the
Really?
Summer Olympics in Paris, and only 26
did we deem actual sports? That is a higher number than I had anticipated. But I guess when we do the Winter Olympics, that is where the number will be quite lower.
Well, I think you're going to run into trouble there because you got the ice dancing.
It's not a sport.
Well, I know it's not a sport, but it gets judged.
I don't care. I get judged.
Just
We all
like
get judged.
Just like the diving.
It's not a sport.
What do you mean it's not a sport? It's a
Diving's not a
competition.
sport.
It's
Competition. It's not a sport.
Because there are judges involved. I think that one's pretty clear. Once the judges are involved and there is no other definitive way to win the game, it's just judging.
And that's how boxing got in. You can knock a guy out. You know, that's how wrestling gets in. You can pin a guy. You know? So as long as you can make contact, there's a chance that it won't be subjective. Let's go to the text line, 888-368-1580. Bat Flipper says, Daily Blender, not a sports show. Not always. We think it'd hurt my feelings with that.
Oh, no. Do you think we didn't notice that we...
Wow. Oh, you stab at me. Wilbur says, how about a sporting event where you use those old dart guns with the suction cup at the end and you got to make it stick to your opponent? We're not looking for new sports, Wilbur. We're talking about the Olympics. Hefty Lefty says, I would bet on South Korea to medal in breakdancing. Oh, you're right. Because you always see Kim Jong-un wearing those tracksuits and stuff. Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing. You're right, Hefty Lefty. Swazman says, Jeffrey, remember the Olympics. Remember. Yeah, I'm just totally stalling. Stupid thing.
Happens sometimes.
The whole thing just wants to freeze up. The more texts we get, the more it starts to do that. He says, remember, the Olympics are about competition. So they find games and activities to turn them into Olympic events. Sport implies physical abilities to excel in that certain activity. I don't give a crap how they define it. If we say it ain't a sport, it ain't a sport. Let's see. Kyle G says, as a HEMA member,
you're going to have to explain what that means.
There's nothing wrong with being a HEMA member.
A Gila monster. What?
I don't care if you're LGBTQHEMA. I don't care. Okay, we're here to support you, Kyle G, and your life choices.
What is HEMA?
Oh, wait a second. I should read the rest of the text.
No.
He says, as a HEMA member and someone who has participated in several longsword tournaments. Oh, so they got an organization for longswords.
Okay.
He says, I would say swordsmanship is potentially a sport. Fencing, however, is at best an athletic competition.
Why do you say that?
There is a kill shot, which means you can definitively win the game against another person. There's a physical aspect of it. You know, you take them little things off. Everybody's always sweaty when they take those things off. I'm just saying. But I mean, I'm willing to have the conversation about fencing because I did pause on that myself for a second. So we will entertain the conversation. Okay. Kringleberry says, I believe Olympic climbing includes lead climbing and speed climbing both. Lead, lead? I don't know what you're talking about.
Now I got to Google.
Sounds like something Mr. Wilbur could participate in.
Yeah, if you have a seeing eye dog, they can climb in front of you.
Lead. Yeah.
Ray says, I must say, this list of what a sport, it seems very arbitrary and capricious.
No.
It might be arbitrary. We did arbitrate. But I stand by this list. In fact, some of the new things that we've talked about today that weren't on the list are going to get on this list. I'll post this list where you guys can all see it and fight about it. But here's the thing. This is as decided by the Daily Blender. We don't care if you agree. This is what we've determined.
And also, capricious, I take that personally. Jeffrey and I have never had a Chevrolet Caprice, ever.
Ooh, that's
Never.
not true. I actually had.
You had a Caprice?
I had it. What was that? An Impala. Anyway,
I think you had an Impala.
Look at Donnie trying to troll me. This is adorable. He says the entire list of where Jeffrey is unathletic to participate in.
What?
Nice try, Donnie. I have played football, basketball, baseball, hockey, lacrosse. I played rugby, volleyball. I've not done NASCAR. I've not done Indy or F1 racing. I've done soccer as a child, swimming. I've cycled. I've run. I've not played cricket. By the way, your dad would be happy to see that we do have cricket in as a sport, even though we don't understand it.
That's
I've
good.
played softball. I have bowled. I've rowed a boat, but I wouldn't say it was rowing. I've done motocross. I've done downhill skiing and snowboarding, although snowboarding shouldn't be a sport. Haven't played water polo. Haven't done weightlifting the way they do. Oh, we used to go places and arm wrestle. I used to do arm wrestling. We'd go into like a goth club when I was in college age, and we would go in and we would arm wrestle guys. That we'd pull out of the mosh pit for money. Me and my friend, that's how we made our money to go out. Let's see, thumb wrestling. That's a sport because I say it is. I'm undefeated in thumb wrestling. Real wrestling, not fake wrestling. Real wrestling's a sport. We even determined that chess boxing is a sport. And then regular boxing, UFC, MMA. I have questions about pole vaulting. Not sure. Well, there's some other stuff I'm not sure about. So I've done almost all of these things, Donnie. I've seen you. You might have done it with the Wii, but you haven't done it in real life.
Oh boy.
Mormon guy says about the trampoline. He's like, oh yeah, you're right. Trampolining is not a sport. Us Mormons like to do it inside and outside. Well, yeah, that's why you have so many damn kids.
Oh wait, what?
The bed is not supposed to be a trampoline, Mormon guy.
I do think it's funny because I looked up the trampoline just during the break, and they tried to make it look epic, and it's just a person jumping on a trampoline.
Yeah.
Okay, they've done some flips. They are just a person jumping on a trampoline. I don't know what to tell you.
It used to be called a jumpaline until Randy's mom jumped on one.
My mom is dead.
I just love that joke. I love that joke so much. I couldn't say it about Keon's mom because she would whoop my ass. She would take a plane, and I didn't have to worry about her.
My mom,
if she were alive, though, she'd whoop your ass.
Yeah, but I'm good. Robert from Surprise says CrossFit is a sport. No, it's not.
No. Mm-mm.
Ralph has Crab says Randy's mom is not a sport. She is right. He is right.
Yeah. I don't think you should be talking about my mom in this light.
Yeah, Ralph has Crabs.
No, talking to you, Jeffrey.
Me?
Yeah.
It was Ralph that said that, not me.
No,
I
it was
didn't
you.
say it at all.
If I were to talk to Keon right now, I think he would out you easily.
No, I'm running out of time for all these texts, though.
All right.
I think you need to just reread the text line.
No,
it was not me. Whistling Gerbil says competitive cheerleading, not a sport.
No.
Pickle Rick says, you're really telling me with all those flips and spins that diving isn't a sport?
No.
That's exactly what I'm telling you.
Because it's judged. The only way to win is if a judge says you win. That's not
Yeah.
how sports work.
Hefty Lefty says, just hypothetically, if archery was done on horseback, like the Mongolians do, would that be a sport or just a more skilled athletic competition? I have to think about that. I wish they would.
If you're shooting another human being, yes.
Well, that's murder.
No, I mean, if it's in the arena of Olympics, I guess.
How does Hefty Lefty have two different phone numbers? Or
maybe.
It's Hamilton Porter says, what about slapping? The slapping sports? No, that's got to get outlawed. I feel like that's too much. That's dumb.
Is it? I don't know.
Fun
I
to
don't
watch,
know.
but then I've seen people get destroyed. Like I think somebody died doing the slapping sport.
People have died boxing.
Yeah, I know. It seems really barbaric, but I don't know how they score it. I'd have to look into it. Maybe
if you're
Hamilton
still
Porter.
standing at the end, you win.
Last one standing wins.
I guess if I'm going to say arm wrestling, right? If I say arm wrestling,
I mean, granted, some of these slaps are just like punches. I mean,
oh yeah.
The big beefy guy that wins all the time because the palm of his hand is basically just a fist. I mean, you don't want to get hit by that. That's not good.
No.
Don't know how much of it's a sport. Might be more of an athletic competition, but let me give me a minute to think about that one.
It's not a hill I'm willing to die on, but it is fun.
Right. Wilbur says, how about 10-meter nude high diving? Well, now you got Moistman's attention.
Yep.
Wesso Grande says, hey, do we know when we'll be able to medal in pickleball? Oh, you shut your mouth.
Oh my
that
God.
will never be a sport. That is not a sport. Will never be a sport.
I don't care if we medal in it.
Table tennis is more of a sport than pickleball.
Oh, boy. Yep.
Choro, no, cricket is not named after an insect. Or is it?
I would have to look that up. I have no
Maybe.
idea.
Yeah, we're going to look that up, Choro. We don't know. Moist One says 10 meats. They don't spell meat that way. All right, listen. All right, we have done our damnedest. You've had your say. When we come back, we're talking about something else. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Talk football!
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every goal, every game, every point, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a game-winning goal in the final seconds of overtime or a shot on goal in the first period, whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
With Progressive, you get more than savings. You get access to us through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
Oh, I see what you're doing here, Jamie. Giving me all these ways to stay in touch so I have no excuse not to. Well, you're in luck, because this guy's in the market for a new BFF.
Actually, all our customers can contact us this way.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just kidding.
But I am always up for Taco
Pizza!
Jigsaw!
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
The Arizona primary election is on July 30th, 2024. Voting locations are open on Election Day from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. All qualified voters need to show ID. Still have your mail-in ballot? Return it at any voting location or secure election drop box. You can also check the status of your early ballot, see voting locations, and review accepted IDs by visiting arizona.vote. That's arizona.vote. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Secretary of State's office.
Will Shakespeare here. Back in my day, I invented over 1,700 slang words like swagger, bedazzled, and my personal favorite, besmirch. But even I have trouble understanding slang words like yeet or bougie or
this is fire.
Actually, it is extremely smooth Shakespeare vodka.
Okay, boomer.
See what I mean? But there is one word that describes the pure quadruple distilled spirit crafted from an 8th century Polish recipe the first time you try it.
So lit.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Shakespeare vodka. So lit.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time. For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender and your good friend, Radio Pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. So, yeah, I am going to have to completely redo a printout of our sport, not a sport sheet. And again, on this sheet, we have sports, athletic competition, not sport, and then flat out not a sport. We have a very clear established line of that is definitely not a sport. Keon, have you seen this list? I don't know if you've seen this list.
I have not seen the list in person, no.
I'm going to read off the stuff that is definitively not a sport and see if you argue with any of these.
Fake wrestling is not a sport.
Agreed.
Rodeo, horse racing, dog racing, it's not a sport. Ballroom dancing is not a sport. Hunting is not a sport. Fishing is not a sport. Video games are not sports. I don't care if you call it esports. It doesn't make it sports.
You can put it in the title if you'd like. It doesn't change anything. I agree.
Marbles, not a sport.
I really
don't know why that's on this list, but
that
somehow
means
it
you
needs
saw
to be
it
put there.
somewhere. Yeah. Yikes.
Poker, it's not a sport.
Fun game. Not a sport.
Chess is not a sport. Spelling bees, not sports, but yet there they are on ESPN
all the time.
Curling, that is not a sport. That is just a bunch of people sweeping really fast.
It's really weird because I find that I watch it whenever it's on. I just get stuck watching curling. But no, not.
You're just like watching a drinking game. Let's see, where was I? Darts, not a sport. Competitive eating, not a sport. Badminton, kite flying, roller skating, shooting, cornhole is not a sport.
I am deeply depressed that you had to put kite flying on the list.
I don't know why it's there. I don't know what.
But
you know what? There's competitive kite flying.
That means you saw it somewhere and
Yes.
had to address it. And
I don't remember.
That depresses me a little, just a little. But I agree.
Horseshoes, cornhole, polo, not a sport. Croquet, hacky sack, beer pong, hiking, skydiving, bullfighting, Quidditch, and now breakdancing. Definitively not a sport. Ribbon dancing had an asterisk to go over to not a sport, but we like, well, is it an athletic competition just because a gymnast is doing it? It's just not. It's,
Yeah, I don't think so.
Choro, good one. Frisbee golf, not a sport.
Yeah, I've played it though. It's pretty fun.
It's just a game. Not every game is a sport.
Agreed. I have no argument here.
Frisbee. Oh wait, I already had frisbee golf. For some reason, frisbee golf is listed as athletic competition, not a sport. There's nothing athletic about frisbee.
If you're playing, well, I suppose that, yeah.
Choro says trolling Donnie, sport. No, trolling Donnie too easy. It's not a sport. If it were challenging, maybe.
Oh no.
Hamilton Porter says hot dog eating. Rest in peace, Joey Chestnut's career. It's not a sport. It's not a sport. Anyway, so yeah, I guess I've got all these scribbles on it now. I got to have to redo it and reprint it. So, speaking of the bowls, do you remember? I don't know if you've seen the video online, but that there was this rodeo in Oregon, and this bull was just like running. And you've watched the video. I don't usually like to watch animal rampage videos, but my wife was like, no, you have to watch this one.
I saw that one. Yeah.
So it starts out, I'm glad to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And this bull is just running around out there on the road, right? What do they call that area?
The ring.
The ring. It's running around out there on the ring. Everybody's like, oh, it's Lee Greenwood, because we haven't heard that a million damn times. And the bull is just like, I'm not even American. F you all. And just jumps out of the ring right into the crowd. Everybody's watching. It's like, oh my God. And the bull just rampages after that. It jumps over and it knocks people over and keeps going. And you see all this different footage where the bull is just kind of walking along it. There's one. Boom. Going out of his way to send people about 10, 15 feet in the air.
There was like this terrace that was like, I guess, where people were walking into the event. The bull was there, just targeting groups of people on his way out the gate.
His name is Party Bus. That was the name of the bull.
Well,
Party Bus.
Of course his name is Party Bus. What else would he be called?
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe what I was watching. I'm like, oh my God, this doesn't even look real. This doesn't look real. And I'm watching, I'm like, oh my God, that woman is dead. Or that guy is dead. It turns out nobody's dead. There were some injuries. Everybody's okay.
There had to be some injuries.
Just like our rule, if the old lady falls down the stairs and goes, I'm okay, then it's funny. So nobody died, so it's okay. It's funny.
I just saw a guy get yeeted 5 feet into the air, and I was like, good gracious, man.
Not just yeeted, but flipped. That guy went, he went just
end over
I've
end.
never seen that in real life. I've seen it in the movies, but I've never seen it in real life.
It looked like a Tom and Jerry cartoon.
It didn't look real. And the fact that guy's not dead is just impressive.
People are probably more durable than we give them credit for.
I don't know. I'm gonna start maybe going up on the sidewalk with my car occasionally because that's good fun. Anyway, so here's the headline that really struck me about this whole incident. So today, the headline reads, Oregon Rodeo Bull won't be put down following rampage. But that's his job. Why would you put him down?
You've trained him to do exactly this.
That bull is awesome.
Your fence wasn't high enough.
We're going to level the playing field between the guys versus the bull. This bull won.
Did they
Don't you get it? He won.
Did they have that bull belt they put on him?
He should be released, like into public.
Yeah,
he won.
You should let the bull go.
Just let him go.
The bull could be anywhere now.
Party bus, that was amazing. I'm be honest. Go ahead.
Just
go
walking
on.
down the halls of Walmart and you see Party Bus at the end of the aisle.
There's Party Bus.
That's just them's the breaks, man. Bad luck.
No. There'd be fatalities if he walked into a Target because everybody that works there wears red.
Oh, there's just several injured employees.
Just khakis and red flying up in the air. You can see it from rows away.
That was the other thing in the video. There was a group of people talking, and they were all wearing red.
Yep.
And he just picked one, specifically one guy. And I don't know how they
in particular.
They didn't see him. I don't know why, or hear him coming. I don't know. They didn't react. And he just picked. I don't know. You're standing there, gone. You're gone now. Bye.
There. You know what? He's just like, you'll do. That was it. That's it. Now they tried to make excuses for him. The guy who owns him says, well, he got proper clearance to be in the rodeo from the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association. This is an approved bull. And then the people, he was just trying to find his pen. He was just trying to get to his pen. That's bull crap. He wasn't trying to find his pen. He was throwing people, hearing screams, and enjoying it. And looking for the next guy. He was walking. He could have kept going. He turned left. I don't know if you saw this video. He's going. He could have just kept going down the sidewalk, but he looked over, saw somebody. The one he did the most flipping to, is like he had to turn out of his way and go, "You're next." And the guy was like,
poor guy. By the time he
went out
saw
of his way
Party
for
Bus, there was no getting away from him. Once Party Bus cleared that fence and left the ring, he was like, "Oh, you suckers are all going to get it now," and he gave it to everybody.
Imagine why, like, honey, I'm on my way home. Now the rodeo was just sort of unexciting. I'm just going to be on my. Why am I in the air? Why? What poked my ass? What was it? Oh God!
It wasn't my ass. It was my upper thigh.
So basically, they're going to let him live, which they should. It's not his fault.
Yeah.
You put a wild, angry animal into this situation. He should not be put down.
And there he goes.
The whole purpose of the rodeo is
Randy, you're finally seeing the video.
Here are dangerous animals, and we're going to screw with them for fun. When the animal gets to be the person wearing the shoe, okay.
See what I'm saying? He went like hard left to get that other guy.
He did not have to do that. It was more work for him, and
here he
chose
comes
to
running
anyway.
across the screen here, and there he goes.
It's been a good year for bulls,
and I'm proud to be. Even Lee Greenwood was, holy crap!
The song just started.
And I'm proud to be, and oh my God,
the humanity.
The recording screamed that.
Did you see the video of the lady on the beach?
It's on the beach
earlier this year.
He got to the beach.
It wasn't Party Bus.
Party Bus made it to the beach.
It was a different bull earlier this year. There was a lady on the beach, and there was just a bull on the beach, and the bull is like sniffing her bag and stuff, and she's going over to get the bag, and everybody on the beach is like, "Stay away, stay away," and no one is going to actually help her because she's already made her dumbass decision. But they were like, "It's not worth it. Let him sniff it and move on." And she kept trying to take it from him, and that bull was more patient than he needed to be, because when he was finally fed up with this lady just in his space, he was flipping her 3 or 4 times, and I'm stunned that she's still with us.
She survived?
She survived.
Wow.
She survived.
Choro just sent me a picture of this woman walking up to a buffalo. It's buffalo petting. That's a sport.
It's the last sport you'll ever play. but it's a sport.
Just to encourage more people to do it.
Wow.
Well, because if that it's like one of those, dumb TikTok challenges. If that gets you to do it, you're just dumb.
Wow, I can't believe that she's standing in that. The picture is this woman in a black shirt going over to a buffalo that's kind of like chilling. He's not standing up. He's just kind of like, laying there, and he's kind of like looking over like, you got to be kidding me. Like, he looks pissed. Like, he's like, I'm gonna have to get up now. I'm just chilling, and now I got to get up. I bet I could throw this white girl a long distance. The Tom says, party bus for president. He'll buck the system.
Yeah,
I'd vote for him. I'd vote for a party bus. Robert from Surprise says, so they put nets at a baseball game, but they won't put nets up for a raging bull?
No.
You think a net was going to stop this guy?
That poor guy in the red shirt. I just saw the video.
Why are you wearing red
at a rodeo?
Where a bull might come around.
That guy had no idea what hit him.
It's the one thing we know about bulls.
Happy Levy says, as a reward, party bus should be allowed in a china shop. Just have fun, like a rage room.
Just let him have it.
He deserves it.
I agree with you, Jeffrey. He won.
According to this article, his owner says he's going to be retired from competition.
Poor
no
guy.
Cows.
He had more to give.
He's got a lot more to give now.
But he had so much love to give.
Well, you're going to make. I hope they stud this one. Suffering A's fan says, rename the bull Party Buster. That's not bad. Lost Toby says, hey, I finally got my TV on the wall. Oh, that's right. You were the guy who was like watching everything on his laptop there. Look at that. Oh, look, he's watching us. That always just. We have a lot
on earth.
Yeah,
would you watch us?
A lot of listeners who watch us like we're a TV show. That always saddens me.
It's just like you didn't have anything else to watch. I mean, sure. Wow. Thank you for tuning in, but
we should have a TV show. I don't mean like a fake TV show like people who used to work here have.
You've always
I mean, like we should have an actual TV show.
Oh yeah,
where people actually watch and don't have to pay for a subscription to just watch YouTube videos. We agree. Should be on actual television. We're waiting. We keep waiting for them to give us our show. I don't know what the holdup is.
Yeah.
Look at us on this picture. We look good. That looks like a real TV show, except for the big Zoom
logo in the bottom right corner.
It's like, I just sort of took a little of the, a little bit of the professionalism away. Although if I pay an extra $1 or something, we can put a logo there. I do pay for a professional version of this. I wonder if I can change that out for like our logo. Like 4 years later, like actually get around to making this look good.
Well, I'm gonna do that. People, look, if there are just tons of people watching us, we might as well.
I'm gonna look into that for you, Choro. If you're watching us like a TV show, you deserve better. You do. Well done. I mean, we're not gonna do a better show.
Same show.
Well, no, some things just can't be fixed. I don't know.
But damn, we'll look good going down.
Let me tell you something. A lot of shows will say, hey, we got a great show for you today. You ever hear me say that?
No.
I just not gonna lie to you.
And do you ever hear them say that they don't? Like, that's the reason why they're not telling the truth. You don't have a great show every day.
I used to come in and say, hey, we got a okay show for you today. And then other times I'm like, this is probably not going to be great. And then Radio Ron was like, you can't do that. I'm like, why? Well, because we're selling advertising, and that's not really setting well with the advertising. So I can't come out and say it's a bad show today. I'm sorry, I got nothing.
We did a bunch of research. We tried.
No, that's bad too. Yeah, this is going to be bad. It's going to be a bad show. I was honest enough to tell you, but I was told I wasn't allowed to do that anymore. So
I think we have a good show pretty much every day.
Well, you drink, so
so every show's a great show to you.
Yeah, I think if the listeners drink, then we're good.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody notices.
All they have to do is ask.
Nobody notices when I'm dying inside. Speaking of, this is a segue for you, Randy. You're gonna like this. Speaking of dying inside, so Chiefs defensive lineman B.J. Thompson out of the hospital after his cardiac arrest.
Hey, that's good.
Good for him.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Unlike this show, he didn't die.
Yeah. Congratulations,
his
BJ.
cardiac arrest following his seizure. That was a bad day at the office.
Yeah.
Bad day at the office.
Yeah, the fact he's 25 years old, seizure had to be involved. You know, nobody 25 is just having a heart attack.
Watching film, it wasn't even like a football related, like the Damar Hamlin, like, okay, he got hit in his chest at just the right, or I guess the wrong time that it stopped his heart. Dude, Peter was just watching film, had a seizure. The seizure led to a heart attack.
The only way that makes sense is if it's that one where, you know, the scary zombie jumps up and goes, ah! Like in those videos where they scare people. If they did that to the guy, then I mean, I'm sure they feel horrible.
Should be fine.
Oh yeah.
Nobody knew he was going to have a heart attack.
Yeah, I guess, but
So-
I doubt that's what happened. So
Is there any word? Is he coming back to play, or
I haven't heard one way or the other.
I mean, they let Bronny come play again and Shaq's kid play again after they had their heart attacks.
I would imagine he's going to go through some more testing. Remember Damar Hamlin? I would imagine that.
Well, that wasn't a heart attack. That was an impact heart attack. This guy's got issues.
Well, I mean, that's what I mean. I think they're going to do several tests on him, and he probably won't be on the team this year. He will probably come back next year after he's gone through some serious testing.
Well, that's nice if he's able to come back and continue to pursue his dream. Short of it killing him.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's true.
that's good. Lost Toby says he's like, I might as well put you on the TV if I'm going to be listening.
Hey, why not?
Do we make a good TV show?
Except for those days when I don't wear pants.
You can't see that you don't wear pants, except for when you walk out of the room.
That's true. Yeah.
Lost Toby, does this work like a TV show, or is it like not like you're just like, no, this isn't like a TV show? I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's just the same picture all the time because our backgrounds never change. And then we are just sitting here doing the same thing we do.
Yeah.
But then that's every other sports TV show too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot of them. And they've been doing a lot of them remotely as well. So, I got to see Shams Charania in front of his bookshelf again.
Speaking of bookshelves, Lost Toby's got a TIE fighter on one of his shelves right there. Tell me you're single in one picture without telling me you're single. Although he's
Star
got
Wars
a bunch
is popular enough now, that doesn't necessarily.
He's got a dozen roses sitting there, but I think you need some more water in that thing. They're gonna die, man. Show me the rest of your place. I'll take a camera through your place. Anyway, Kyle G says, yeah, his nervous system was seizing, and his heart said, "Hold my beer." Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Hefty Lefty says that's the intrigue of a show on TV. He says we have to guess whether or not Randy has pants on.
Yep.
We need that automatic blur feature for your camera.
That's too bad. Too bad, really.
Lost Toby says, I don't know, man. He says, in this podcast era, it's as much a TV show as any other TV show. Is that a compliment? Is that
because a lot of people do their podcast as a video, as well. So
it's not a podcast; it's a video.
I prefer to call it
they record them both at the same time. So
yeah, vodcast.
Gamecock says, who's ready for NCAA football 2025? Hey, who's ready for Madden 25 with Christian McCaffrey on the cover? That's the he's the new cover boy.
I didn't even know that
for the Madden 25. Gee, I thought feels like they've been doing it longer, but I guess it's the 25th edition of the Madden football game.
It's crazy. Game's been around a long, long time.
I don't know if I'm going to play anymore.
Why?
Nobody wants to play with me. Choro, why are you sending me pictures of Chiefs? He sent me a picture of Randy Reed with his frozen mustache. He sent me a picture of shirtless Patrick Mahomes. I look better without my shirt on than he does. Why are you sending me these pictures, Choro? Just curious. No, you know what? I'm not curious. I got to take a break. When we come back, let's talk some more football. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The U.S. Open Golf Tournament gets underway on Thursday. It's the third major of the season, and it's being held at Pinehurst No. 2 in North Carolina, considered by many to be the toughest course hosting the U.S. Open. Scottie Scheffler has won 5 of his last 8 tournaments that he has entered, including this year's Masters and the Memorial Tournament last week, and he's the betting favorite to capture his first U.S. Open title. He's plus 300 to hoist the trophy. Xander Schauffele, who won the PGA Championship in May, is plus 1,000. Rory McIlroy won the U.S. Open in 2011, is at plus 1,100. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Febreze. So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la. So I just went to Kohl's to shop their first ever customer appreciation event. And now I'm here to spill the details. Because I'm a Kohl's card holder, I got an extra 30% off. Or if you're a rewards member, you get 20% off. Even non-members can save with 15% off. And as an added bonus, Kohl's also has great prices on Father's Day gifts, like top activewear, Sephora cologne, grilling gear, and more. So what are you waiting for? Don't miss out. Hurry to Kohl's. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. Offers end June 16th. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-909-8122. 800-909-8122. 800-909-8122. Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
With the first pick. Now that the draft is in the books, it's that time of the season when the team gets together, to get acquainted. Summer means mini camp, OTAs, then pre-season. Keep yourself tuned to the station with all the insight, updates, and breaking news you need to know about the NFL offseason. If it's the NFL, we talk about it. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Today's Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Kyle G says, you'd be a fine TV show. A lot like First Things First, just less, focused.
But also less ridiculous.
Don't. Oh, here we go. Lost Toby says, I buy my girlfriend flowers so I can buy myself Star Wars Legos. That's how it works. Water is to the brim, so you just can't tell. I had a Luchador mask up, but she took it down. And yes, I much rather watch this than First Take.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
It's a low bar, but we're proud to clear it.
That's the other thing. We've set the bar very low by comparing ourselves to that show. Anyway, all right, 888-368-1580. Let's talk some football. Remember Pharaoh Cooper, Randy?
I do.
He has retired.
That's too bad.
Originally drafted to the Rams, then he was on your Cardinals, then he was in the Bengals, Panthers, Jaguars, and Giants. And listen, he was a good returner, but I just guess he just decided it was time to be done.
Yeah.
7 seasons was enough.
7 seasons and hanging up the cleats.
7 seasons and like 7 teams. So, but here's the thing about Pharaoh. My wife liked his name so much. I can't remember what she did. She used his name for a password for something. Don't worry, it wasn't for like banking or anything. It was like for one of the Xboxes or something. And I was just like,
good.
How do you spell Pharaoh? I don't even off the top of my head.
P-H-A-R-O-H.
Oh, you spelled it correct. Well,
thank you.
You read the Bible.
Well,
Pharaoh's in the Bible. I'm a heathen.
Well,
I got no business knowing how to spell
You're
Pharaoh.
not a heathen. You read the Bible too.
F-A-R-O-E.
Mm-hmm.
Pharaoh.
P-H-A-R-O-H. Pharaoh. P-H like fat.
No. It just nobody says fat anymore.
What do you mean?
Nobody says P-H.
You say nobody says re-dick either.
No, nobody does.
How much do you know? That's what I'm talking about.
We have a new texter, but I feel like this is a setup.
All right.
4285 says, I like your show. It's very entertaining for a lonely girl like me. Usually you have to be on Twitter to get.
That just sounds like a bot.
Yeah.
Or TikTok, right?
I don't know how this show is a place for a lonely girl.
Is your Twitter handle by any chance texter Cindy bunch of numbers? Because you sound familiar.
I don't know which one of our listeners has accidentally wandered their way into the land of spam girls, but seems like anytime we're on a thread, things are normal for a second, then all of a sudden these weird fake girls start liking stuff.
Boogie.
Yeah, and it's always some woman's name and then
Boogie.
16 random digits.
Boogie. What are you doing, Boogie?
I think
So
Boogie.
we're going after Boogie for this.
Yeah. Boogie.
Choro. I think
Berg.
Donnie and
Berg.
Definitely Big George. I've seen him on Big George's stuff, but I don't know if that's because Big George or if because of all the 8,000 people he tags in every post.
Well, that's true. That's one of the reasons why I got off the X, because I got tired of hearing about Wordle every day.
I haven't seen any Wordle. Oh, well, he doesn't tag me.
I haven't seen any either, to be honest.
I've asked him not to tag me, and he said somebody else did. So, you know what? I took care of the problem myself. Delete account. Enter.
That seems excessive as a response, but that's yours to do.
Randy found a roach in his kitchen and nuked everything from orbit. That's
it.
That's
right
what
there.
happened.
That's listen, I don't play games. The Wordle doesn't stop, then it's finally over and out. See you.
Man, I had to block my mom.
Oh no.
On Facebook from being able to invite me to play games.
Oh boy.
The thing is, I don't think they even know they're doing it. It's when you agree to some of these games.
No, she knew.
They give you the permission. They ask you, can I post as you? And then they invite you. I mean, she probably knew, I guess, but
she knew. No, she knew. And I told her, I said, Mom, I'm going to block you. She's like, you do what you got to do. Like, all right, I warned you.
I love that.
So 4285 is back, says, I'm not fake. I'm 100% real. Just a lonely Suns fan looking for some optimism. Well,
next season is almost here.
That's about as optimistic as we can get you.
We got a new coach and no money to do anything else.
So next season there will be basketball games.
Well, we still have Book. We've got KD. We have the same team that we had last year, plus a new head coach.
You're gonna win a nice,
they'll be all right.
48, 52 games, and then we'll see what happens after that. Because I don't know.
It'll be an okay season. 52. It just won't be a championship winning season unless they do something that makes sense, but then they've painted themselves into a financial corner. I don't know what that looks like.
And I just get that whenever I hear Matt Ishbia talk, the man seems to be doubling down on this process that was not good in the first place.
Well, 4285, if you are indeed a real person, and you don't make it weird, but if you want to give yourself a texter name, you can be a part of the show. You've got friends here. 888-368-1580. Robert from Surprise says, TV show would be a great idea. I could wear my VR glasses while I drive home from work.
Oh, my God.
I don't know why you're not doing that now.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Lost Toby. He says he's sending another picture. He wanted me to be clear. He says, I buy my girlfriend flowers so I can buy myself the Star Wars Legos. Did I read all that?
It did.
Yes,
you did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What is this?
So you mean the TIE fighter is made out of Legos? Is that what he's saying?
I guess so. That is the one of the. It's either one of the most brilliant or one of the worst Photoshops ever. I see what it was. Earlier during the break, since I knew that he was watching, I made really up close, strange faces into the camera. Well, he has captured that and superimposed it on LeBron James's body in that one where he's going like this to Smith, to J.R. Smith. To J.R. Smith. I don't even know what to do with this, to be honest.
I don't know either.
I might have to post that. Wilbur says ROLAIDS. Why did you spell the AIDS part different?
Rolaids.
Big George says Choro just tagged Randy's old Twitter handle. Well, that's okay.
Sorry, I'm not there. Good luck.
Says not sure Randy will ever see it, but it's funny. Did he tag us too? I want to see this. 4285 says my name is Sasha. What is a texter nickname? See, you don't listen to the show. If you don't know what that is, you don't, or you've never heard the show before.
Sasha Boogie, perhaps.
How did you find us, Sasha? Just curious, because if you don't listen to the show, and
Sasha sounds like a made-up name.
Yep, Sasha.
Does it?
Yeah.
Who do you know named Sasha, except for Baron Cohen?
Wasn't there a guy that played for the Lakers? Sasha Vujacic?
She's likely a former supermodel. Let's just see where this goes. 888-368-1580.
It is a name that exists, though.
Sasha? Yeah.
So I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. How did you find this? Because clearly it wasn't from listening for a while.
Either A, we are alienating her right now, or B, whoever it is that's playing a joke on us is laughing hysterically.
No, I don't think we're alienated, because then the 4285 says, how about Triple D basketballs? Okay, so right there. Just, that'll be enough out of you, Boogie. Robert from Surprise says, Sasha, we're going to need pictures. No, we don't need pictures. No, thank you. Please don't. Moist One says, sausage. No. Okay, I'm just going to move on now. All right, listen. So did anybody find out where Aaron Rodgers went? He skipped the start of mandatory minicamp. He didn't have permission. Robert Saleh went before the microphone and said, yeah, he didn't. He just said it was something was really important to him, so he's not going to be there. It's unexcused. He will not be showing up for this session, at least not the start. Nothing to do with winning. That's not what he said. He said bad words. He said this is BS that has nothing to do with winning.
Maybe he's in one of those dark sessions again.
He didn't. I don't know. All I know is that Aaron Rodgers was talking about the distractions in the Jets locker room, distraction on the team, and how they need to cut it and start winning. And then he's got an absence that is not excused. And sure, he let the team know it was coming and they're going to roll with it. But it just seems like the rules are different for people not named Aaron Rodgers.
Well, Saleh did say Rodgers is subject to the CBA fine schedule.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll actually pull that trigger?
Yes.
I don't know if they will.
Yes. That they collectively bargained and agreed on that, players and owners, and just out of making an example out of Aaron Rodgers, if it's not excused, you're getting fined.
Maybe he's gone to Europe to recruit some players.
Hold on here. I think we're on to something over here with.
Is it Sasha again?
Yeah. It's just Moist One.
It's Moist One?
It's Moist One with a fake number.
Okay.
You know how I know this? At 5:33 p.m., Moist One said sausage. Didn't say how it was spelled, did I? I just said it said sausage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then 4285 says, how about sausage party spelled exactly the same way that Moist One spelled it? Case closed. Moist One's using a fake phone number.
Yep. That's it.
The end. That explains why she was already getting dirty so fast.
Yeah, and like the lonely girl thing is just odd. Like that, just no one has ever texted into a sports show that way. Then he had to try to recover with, "Well, I'm just a lonely Suns fan." Stop.
Yeah, nice try, Moist One.
Please stop.
Here we are blaming Boogie. We owe him an apology.
That's why I was just like, I don't think I've heard from Boogie in a little bit. I was like, why?
He texted in the other day.
All right,
briefly, but he did. Megatron says, dumb of the Jets to even say anything about it. It just causes more drama that they don't need.
But how? Okay, if
they
the
have
report,
to.
He's Aaron Rodgers. Okay, you're paying him more than anybody else on the team, and he doesn't show up to practice. And the reporters are there at practice, allowed to watch. At least the first part of it. They're gonna have some questions about why the guy you're paying a lot of money, who missed all of last season with an Achilles injury, so should probably spend some more time with the team, isn't out there. Like, you have to answer that question.
If I'm Salah, I'm just going unexcused absence, not here. Next question.
Or
they come back with Aaron Rodgers not here. Why unexcused absence?
No.
Next question.
Even better, just say, well, he had something to do and move on. Don't even say it's unexcused. Megatron's right. Excuse the absence. Move on.
He didn't say what Aaron Rodgers was doing.
Salah is not happy, and Salah intends to go ahead and put that fine on him, or he wants to. I don't know if the higher ups are going to let him.
Well,
that's
fine. I think they will. I think
they're not happy with this.
Well, yeah, because Aaron Rodgers is doing the same thing that a lot of great quarterbacks have done in the past. He's just doing it badly. Tom Brady goes to Tampa Bay. They cater a lot of things to Tom Brady. Peyton Manning goes to Denver. They cater a lot of things to Peyton Manning. But those guys showed up and they worked and they didn't create distractions for the team. Meanwhile, Aaron Rodgers doesn't always get the work done and is on TV talking about whatever political thing he wants to, considering running for vice president. Who's the biggest distraction on the team but him? You're supposed to cover and protect him?
He's only about, he doesn't want anything to do with BS that has nothing to do with winning. Come on, Keon. You heard him say that.
Yeah, and somehow that rule applies to everybody else on the Jets, just not Aaron Rodgers.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's inferred. It's, that's.
So, yeah, if I'm the coach, I'm not protecting you. I will absolutely back the bus over you. The easy call.
Baby Mullet says Aaron Rodgers is tripping Iuska to ask celestial gods to please let the Jets win the Super Bowl.
That's
work. About the only hope.
Better work.
Have. Megatron says Salah's job is in Rodgers' hands, so let's piss off the guy that controls your fate as a coach.
Well, no, his job is not just in Rodgers' hands. It's in the rest of that locker room's hands. And if you just let Aaron Rodgers skate and never say anything, the other guys on that team are going to lose respect for you. And guess what? You might have Aaron Rodgers all chummy. But if the other guys don't want to block for him, catch passes for him, defend so they can get him the ball back, you lose anyway.
This is interesting. Robertson's Prize says, maybe Aaron Rodgers isn't healthy enough to practice. Well, he's got guaranteed money. So if he wasn't, he would make that clear to the team and he would not get potentially fined or in trouble.
Yeah, and if you show up, if you can't practice, you just don't practice. They will have you do something else.
No, I think Aaron Rodgers is just serious enough to say, I don't feel like coming in. I have something important to do. It's very important to me. I'll see you next time. And that's it, because he's got that kind of an ego. And Salah is a little bit aggravated. We'll see how aggravated if he actually does impose a fine on him. Right now, I have to impose a break on us. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
O'Reilly.
Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines to protect against wear and deposits. Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select filter for just $33.99 in-store only. Limit supply. Learn more at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast, too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
We all know driving hammered gets you nailed, but did you also know driving high is a DUI? I'm Officer Badalucco with the Gilbert Police Department. Anything that impairs your driving makes you dangerous on the road. If you feel different, you drive different, and driving high is illegal. Be smart with marijuana use. Get the facts at drivinghighaz.com and spread the word with hashtag high DUI. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Arizona's new home for sports.
Hey, is it worth $89,000 to get into Tom Brady's pants?
What?
What?
You know we're live, right?
Well, I just figured it's a moist one. I just sometimes like to throw those out just for him. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and Tom Brady's pants from his final NFL game, they sold for $89,000 at auction. Right there, you can see that's what you get.
Oh, okay.
These pewter colored pants that he wore. It looks like it says on January 16th, 23 versus the Cowboys. And you think that's his handwriting or somebody else's?
No, I couldn't tell you.
By the way, look at that. Him and I have the same waist size, 34.
Huh.
Huh.
I just think it's the jersey I get. The pants?
Oh, crap. I'm blurry now.
It's not the first time, Jeffco.
Usually I at least get a couple of drinks before I look like this. But yeah, the pants. $89,000 for these pants right here. $89,000. Of course, you have to put them on, right? You have to put them on at least once. And then you put them up in like a frame.
You spent $89,000. You better put them on.
I'm putting on the damn pants.
Just to look at them. They don't serve you any purpose just looking at them. They're just pants.
So size 34, and they're pewter with the red stripes. And that was from his last game. Yeah. So did they win the game? That's the thing they don't say. What the score was. I'm guessing maybe not. I don't know. I don't know who won this, but they can say that they got into Tom Brady's pants for $89,000.
Wow. Why would you say that?
Well, because you got into his pants for $89,000. It's true. That's a true statement. Not making this up. It also sounds scintillating.
Scintillating.
So, Keon is looking up the score of that game. I'm sorry to have made him do that. I should have done that myself earlier. I'm about to talk about your Commandos. The Commandos, well, they got rid of a guy, Brandon McManus. Turns out he's a dirtbag, so they cut him. And now they're like, ooh, we're going to need a kicker this year. So they, little late in the game to try to find a kicker. So they have tapped the one place that you would tap if you were desperate. And yes, they are working out UFL kickers, Jake Bates and Andre Smith.
I mean, desperate times.
How do you pronounce that? SZMYT. Zmit.
I mean, the SZ that seems European. So like this, like more of a sh sound.
That's how you say it, Andre. Zip. So, who would you rather have? Jake Bates, name you can actually say, or Andre? Do you have any knowledge of these players?
No, I don't. I don't watch the UFL.
Turns out people watch more than they've watched the spring football in the past.
Okay.
Well, the ratings actually, they're not great, but they're slightly better than they have been.
Wow.
Still not going to
Don't you think that's because The Rock is involved?
No.
No, I'm probably because they combined the two leagues, so you probably have slightly better football because now you're getting all of the talent that's not making it to the NFL in one league, as opposed to two separate leagues where they're both half as good.
Did they keep the teams together from their perspective?
They kept some teams from both.
And maybe you got some fans, but I mean, you're talking no more than 1 million per game watching out of 350 million.
When they do a piece on Sports Center on Sunday, about the group that collects beer cups from all over the stadium.
Oh yeah, the beer snake
at the UFL game. They call it the beer snake.
I have no idea.
The cup snake. When they do a piece on that, it's not good for the UFL.
That's the best thing that they have going is the beer snake.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I can't name any of the people from that league. I mean, I'm sure I could if I like there's some guys that might have been in the NFL that are like, I guess he's in the UFL now. But when it comes to the kickers, I definitely don't know the kickers. That's just
I watched a promo that was played on TV and shut the TV off. That's how bad it was.
Oh God, moist one. Says my beer snake usually comes out after it. No, I'm just not gonna. He says after a couple of Stellas. Yeah. I don't think that there's much prompting for your beer snake to come out. So people are wondering if Travis Kelce was going to retire after winning another Super Bowl, and then he didn't. And people are like, so how long are you going to do this then, man? You got old Taylor Swift running around there, and you probably want to hang out with her. So he's like, hey, I'm not putting a time frame on this. He says, I'm going to keep going until the wheels come off, which makes sense. Because, listen, he needs to make as much money as he possibly can. He's never going to equal Taylor Swift, but at least have some respectable money.
Do you think that's what he's trying to do?
Because you would.
I think he just loves the game, too.
Yeah. I think you're more likely to make money in endorsements and trying to weasel your way into movies and that kind of deal.
She got billion. He got hundreds of million.
I feel like this summer was very profitable for him.
How so? What did he do?
Well, he made a lot of commercials.
Well, we haven't even seen them yet. They're going to air this fall. And watch. I predict they're both going to be in a commercial together.
Wow.
I don't have that I have no news of
You're
that, but I'm
actually going
predicting
to
it.
predict that.
They
Really?
will be in a commercial together.
By the way, the Buccaneers lost that last game.
I thought so.
So
30
I wouldn't
31
put
to
those
14.
pants off and get some of that losing juju on me.
And to the Cowboys, no less.
That's sad.
Mm-hmm.
Balls of Fury says, with all the commercials he does, he's trying to catch up to Taylor Swift's fame, at least. He's also not going
You're
to
never
achieve
going to do that. She sells out stadiums around the world.
Yeah.
She goes to Japan and people know who she is. That Travis is never reaching that level of fame. Not even close.
Well, he will as long as he stays with her.
Well, okay, fair. Yeah.
Baby Mullet says, is Travis the bottom in this relationship with Taylor Swift? He is whatever Miss Swift says he is. Yes, ma'am.
You think so?
His pet name for her is Yes, ma'am. No, I don't know. I doubt it. I'm just being horrible.
Yeah.
But, you know, his brother says Travis hasn't changed a bit. He's still the same guy. He's Taylor Swift hasn't changed him, hasn't anything like that. And I kind of believe it. You know, he just seems like that kind of guy. You know what I mean? That, you know, for better or worse. Now, I don't know if this is going to last.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be an interesting album if it doesn't. I feel like I might give a few spins to this on Spotify.
That's going to be the first Taylor Swift album. That's the one.
And then he'll run off and he'll have some hot chick and he'll be happy still. And she'll make billions. If I had anything, I would have already signed a contract with her to be her boyfriend. It's like, okay, if we break up and you write songs about me, I get a percentage. Can we agree to this while we're friends? Yes. I will do my best. You know, anything is like, hey, honey, you have a rep. I don't know if you know this, but you have a rep.
Yep.
Alanis Morissette feels like maybe you stole it from her, but still,
It's just is that a reputation that like a lot of people don't have? Like, it just seems like a lot of people have relationships.
It went Alanis Morissette, then handed off to Adele, then handed off to Taylor Swift.
I mean, Adele still does it.
As soon as you break up, there's a giant album about you.
I don't know that Adele ever handed that torch.
Well, I mean, she lit the other torch then. And
she kept it.
If anybody cared about Alanis Morissette music anymore, she'd probably still be trying too. But anyway, so yeah, he's going to keep on going till the wheels come off, and that makes sense. Although, do you still think about the time he was yelling at Andy Reid and little roided out, little crazy?
Not really.
I still do. It still bothers me to see him yelling
I do
at
too.
Andy Reid like that.
Yeah, I do
still
too.
does.
He's not the first football player I've seen yell at their coach, I guess. So
that just felt different. I don't know how to explain it, because you think, oh, Travis Kelce is such a nice guy. What a good guy. All of a sudden it's like, whoa, he's about to kill Andy Reid.
It's a high pressure job, man. I don't know.
I know. It just still kind of, it's like the Will Smith slap.
You can't ask me. I was in a very dysfunctional workplace for a long time. Everybody was yelling at everybody.
Oh boy.
It was awful.
Just because we don't come into work anymore doesn't mean we can't yell at you over the Zoom.
I mean,
what's the situation there? Why do you out us right now?
I wasn't saying here. I was talking about in Chattanooga. So
we're running out of time. I better do this real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for On This Date in Big Georgia's Sports History.
Back in the year 1997, the infamous flu game occurred in Game 5 of the 97 NBA Finals. Utah Jazz and Chicago Bulls were tied at 2 games apiece. Michael Jordan, suffering from terrible stomach virus,
Yeah, right.
was getting no help from a Bulls teammate.
Listen, you guys know that I'm not going to tell the whole story. You know how that ends. He takes over.
He scored 60 points or something.
He goes crazy, and they win. He's got dehydration and exhaustion, and then 103-degree temperature, and they're trying to lead him over. There's that picture of Pippen taking him to the bench. He's like, he was drunk.
Hungover.
Yeah. But see your thing. Flu, hangover, flu, drunk, does not matter. Either way, that was pretty damn impressive.
Yeah. Either way, your stomach is messed up, you're a little woozy, and you're dehydrated as all get out.
Woozy. He was not well, but still was like, oh hell no, and just brought the Bulls back from the dead on that one. So that was it, and this is all we got left for the show. I'm trying so hard not to cough right now.
He said Jordan said that he got a pizza.
It was a bad pizza.
Yeah, the stomach flu pizza.
Yeah.
And he suggested that somebody did something to the pizza, but they talked to the delivery guy, and the delivery guy was like, "No, I didn't do anything to the pizza. You're not going to pin this on me."
By pizza, do you mean whiskey?
Is that code for bourbon?
It will be now in my house. Can you hand me the pizza?
Nice one. Stop sending me caricatures of other shows. You know why those other shows have caricatures instead of their pictures?
Yeah.
Because they ugly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, if you got caricatures rather than your actual photograph,
Yeah.
you is ugly. Oh, see you guys tomorrow. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580.